Cryptic Heartland is live.
It is live. We got 3 people.
Why do you keep on trying to bother her? What?
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I know. I heard that too.
Holy shit, the door just slammed. Are you a demon? What was that?
Say that again.
Did I say yes?
Yeah, I heard yes. Or are you What is going on?
Nice.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, man. Happy 70th to you all. 70th episode. Yeah, yeah, right.
I was thinking birthday. I'm like,
I know,
who's
it sounded
70?
like a birthday.
Sorry.
This is the Cryptic Heartland podcast, episode number 70. Yep, still doing it. Pretty incredible. Thank you all to all the fans out there, all the cryptids. I don't know. We need to come up with a clever name for them. So, but make sure you like, subscribe, tune in, get notified. That way, anytime we go live, you can also be a part of the fun and the action. So, yeah. Also, too, if you want to call in, take part of the show, you can do part of the chat, or you can call in on the number at the very bottom. It's a different number this week. Number is 316-250-2986. And call in, ask a question, bring us a topic, whatever you want to do. So don't be shy. What's up, guys? How we doing today?
Doing all right. I'm
Awesome.
tired.
A bit tired, yes.
Why? I don't understand why you'd be tired.
We were working.
Oh, good. Not me. I'm
You
just
didn't
playing
work
around.
yesterday? No?
I was slacking. Actually, I did my
Slacking.
part. Yep.
Doing your part. Well, that's a good thing.
I thought I lost. Was it a little too loud there?
Huh?
Was I a little too loud or what?
Yeah,
Bleed
you're
through?
vibrating
I
the
can't
table
tell.
there.
That's why I'm trying to put the mic. Usually you're supposed to eat the mics in these situations, but
No. Last night we got a chance to do something out in I mean, I guess I can tell.
you can let the cat out of the bag. Last night the team did a year calendar in swimsuits, and so
Yeah.
look for that. I'm sure it'll sell lots of copies. That's why I didn't partake, because I didn't want to,
I did a full swim. I didn't want to wear my bikini.
Roth
last
had his
night.
banana hammock on, so,
Rose was full of Monty there for a second. We had to walk away.
No,
5
well, maybe.
inches of, issues there.
No, maybe that wasn't the case. What did you guys do last night? Sorry.
I forget now.
Okay, good. Nice.
Especially when you said 5 inches of. Anyway, about.
Close to
no,
5
we
inches.
were in McPherson last night. Got to do a private investigation of a historical site. The whole town, I mean, basically everybody who was involved at the location knew we were there, including the police. So
They did. Okay.
So,
I thought initially
everybody
it was
was
supposed to
there.
be a kind of a private hush-hush thing initially.
They were. Yeah, so we were at the Opera House last night.
Nice. Taking
there
in a
in
show, were you
McPherson.
guys?
What's that?
Was it taking in a show, were you
We
guys?
were. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
It was. It could have been a little bit more active on the show, but But no, it was great. It was the old Opera House there. It's geez, it was a lot bigger than I was expecting when we first.
And that's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
it proved to be very large.
It's always good to surprise them, you know,
Yeah,
and leave them.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Went in there for the. I didn't do any research on it for the.
Yeah.
Usually I like to like dive into it and always know, but
Yeah.
last night I just wanted to go in cold
Sure.
and just do that. So it was fun to just walk in, get the tour of it, and I was amazed that it had 6 floors to it. So
Yeah, that's what you told me, and I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it. I did get to see pictures of it you were sending out to me, and I'm making me jealous, of course. I understand, but yeah.
that was my intent.
No, I know. You even put that out there. I'm trying to make you and Jeremiah jealous for not being here. So,
Yeah,
and we were.
beautiful.
Yeah, the pictures are incredible, and can't wait to hear some of the acclaimed stories, whatever you want to, whatever you can tell me,
We
or
can-
tell us. But
Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit tonight.
Yep.
But
yeah,
between us, I mean, I know Jake and Roth and everybody. Chris was there. Paul and Michelle were there.
Yep.
It was interesting. It was a lot of fun to see everyone's reactions and stuff because I think everybody had kind of like their own moments.
mm-hmm.
So it was different. It wasn't what I was expecting at all because it was so beautiful inside.
Yeah.
It was.
That's
I was thinking, old Opera House, just I don't know, something from a long time ago.
Right.
But
And
wasn't
it was from it's everything's from like I think a lot of it is from the
1880s.
1880s on up, but they spent a staff member there last night said it was a $8.5 million renovation that
Yeah.
they did there, and it was just astounding. It was beautiful there. A lot of limestone down in the basement, definitely. So
The
like
whole
that.
foundation looked limestone, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool. A lot of the original woodwork. And it wasn't only an opera house. I mean, it was at one time they had apartments in there, and
Jill.
there was an original courthouse and the jail in the building. So that just added to all the history. I mean, it was good to know nothing when we walked in. It was neat to be able to learn
Yeah.
from experience.
Very much so. I mean, we, I think we were there for about, it was 10 minutes into it, and we were already hearing the sound of a female talking in the building, and it was just, it was just us guys that showed up first. We did a quick walkthrough with Josh there, and already heard a female talking up above.
Who was Josh?
He's a staff member that worked there.
Gotcha. Okay.
He stayed with us all night long.
Oh, good. Good.
Just to, he was like, because the other guy, Jordan, wanted somebody to stay there, and Josh jumped at the opportunity. So he was actually pretty shocked by everything last night. I think he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he did.
It was one of those moments that I think he's heard all the stories, but he didn't really have too much of his own.
Mm-hmm.
But after last night and watching all the guys work with the equipment and stuff, he walked away with a pretty good.
It's funny how they
view
get
of it.
they get that bug once you
Oh, yeah.
they get to see the real thing up close and personal, and maybe witness a thing or two, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, this is awesome. They want more information and things like that.
Especially when the equipment starts to work, and it's responding back to you and everything like that. It leaves you. I think you guys. They said last night that the look on his face a few times was, priceless, with that shock and awe look.
Right.
But I still get that too when we get some of the equipment,
Oh yeah.
especially.
The newer stuff that we came
Oh,
along with.
like even the REM pod,
Oh, yeah.
We
Cool.
had it. You left it over there in the auditorium,
Right.
kind of where somebody says, they kind of see a
Sure.
person over there in the corner. Didn't have any reactions to it for most of the night, so I took it up and put it on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and it finally started pinging off up there, especially when you were asking questions.
Asking questions. We had the K2s up there on each side of the stage, and
Yeah.
they did react to the K2s here and there. But once they got volume with the REM pod, I mean, they enjoyed that much more. And then, of course, we had the 360 periscope up there.
Uh-huh.
They enjoyed that as well, so it was cool.
That was fun to see that.
Yeah, it was.
Playing with all the new toys that we had last night, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet.
Did the wireless DVR system, which was I freaking loved it. I thought that was so much fun, and the teardown was so simple and so easy that night.
I don't know how that
Yeah.
feels, Jason. I'm so used to, you know.
You're used to the the teardown that takes another
45 minutes,
45
hours.
yeah, to
God.
42 hours, yeah.
Sometimes an hour depends the place, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last night it was a quick, easy setup and quick, easy teardown, which is unheard of most of the time. But with all of the new gadgets that are coming out, it's a lot more fun to get going on that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we set up in, 15 minutes? And
Oh, that's cheap.
I told you did. You
You
just
can get the
didn't know
real
what
adventure. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I think the hardest part was just trying to figure out what angle the DVR cameras to put them on.
Dude, I'm
But
telling ya.
they turned on. I mean, how it's set up, they turned on right away.
That's awesome. Yeah,
And
plug
it
and
was
play.
clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
When they were done playing Muppets up there in the balcony.
Hey, we had to, man. It was, the opportunity was there, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had full range of the whole building, so it was anywhere we wanted to go, we went.
We did that for yeah.
Yeah, because Josh would unlock any door we wanted to go to, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Climbed up to the tip top of the catwalk, peered over. While up there, could hear what sounded like somebody walking around behind the stage, when I know nobody was actually on the stage anywhere. So
Mhm.
it was a little bit fun on that one, but it was a great experience. I know they want us to come back anytime we want,
Awesome.
so anytime they said we are able to come back and set that up, so I'm
They're
looking
ready for
forward
us.
to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're ready to go back. I'm ready. I mean, the history of the place. I mean, it's so beautiful. And
So-
the structure. Man.
What was the best moment last night for you?
Oh boy. Best moment, I would say, probably down underneath the stage, walking the hallway, and then coming around the corner. I mean, the ambiance back here in the dressing rooms, it was just totally different. And seeing the history of the place, of course, seeing the original stage work, seeing where there was a fire back in the 60s, and again, learning the history of the place, I think, is probably my biggest like of the whole place. Now, I mean, getting a little bit of equipment usage up on the stage, actually behind the stage, I think that was probably the hottest spot that we had all night.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good.
I still don't know, because I put his recorder up behind the stage on a stool, turned it on, and it was going for the longest time, but then all of a sudden, like,
We checked it out, and somebody put it on pause. Yeah, somebody paused my recorder.
which
So-
I swear I hit record on that, so.
So we got to find out how long it's been on pause.
Yeah.
That's kind of strange, but
Yeah, but because you could hear what sounded like either footsteps moving around back there, or the door that was actually, or the door that was actually moving, and the lock was actually moving too. The only problem is with that door back there behind the stage, it actually was. I think they said he said 12 feet off the ground.
it looked to be about 12. 10,
So
12 feet
it
off the
wasn't
ground.
something that could be anybody back on the outside of the building trying to get in, but you could see where the door was like jiggling at times.
Visually shaking hard, yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to do something behind the scenes.
No, you're
It's
good.
all right. That's all right. I like what you're trying to do.
That's a pretty good picture.
So this is the Muppet Crew right here, in case you
That's
can't see
right.
that. Sorry about the glare. It's from my phone. We got Mr. Dan onto camera. Oh, I went dark all of a sudden because of my screen. Sorry. Camera left. And then Stan. And then camera right is JKK Frank. So just want to do that for fun.
That looks like something from the 1800s.
I know.
You know, with that,
Just
the
'cause of the
way it's
angle.
red and
Yeah.
With that glare.
It's a good picture.
and then you got Jake with the beard and the long hair. You know, looks like a cowboy sitting up there. No, we got, unlike a lot of other theaters like that, we got to go in places in the theater that you just normally don't get to do. Like here in town at the Orpheum, and even in Dodge City, there at the old theater, you couldn't get up there in the little balcony
Yeah, that's what,
booth area like you could here, because the other ones look like they're fake now.
that's what I was telling Dan when
Yeah.
he was talking about going up there like that, is the fact that, yeah, most places you can't even get into it,
Yeah.
which is, it is what it is, but
And it had three levels. So you had the main level, a balcony, and a balcony. The only problem is way up top, you get some major vertigo.
Oh, dude, I
going
can't
because it
imagine.
goes like in a straight slant.
Yeah.
And they said that people who get tickets for concerts and shows, they going down to the very front row of the third level. Some of them get really sick and they can't do it, so they have to sit up top. And,
oh, wow.
yeah, so it was a little nerve wracking because there's just a small railing there, and yeah, it was a little freaky up there on that part. So I don't think any of us really ventured out there too much that night.
We got up there a few times and that was it. That was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable,
Right.
yeah.
We kind of tried to help Jake over the side. He was trying to put a camera down there, but yeah, it was too much for him and me. He was
Nice.
gonna fall.
He was gonna fall.
He was gonna fall.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We try not to hurt ourselves too much, you
Yeah,
know, when we do
yeah.
stuff.
But it does happen on occasion.
Well.
So I've been told.
You know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing.
So,
Never happened.
so what is like? I know you talked about a little bit about the history and stuff like that. And maybe you didn't give them too much details, but what was some of the claims? Not necessarily the claims. But is there any kind of famous people that came to there? I know they still use it as a concert venue or some kind of concerts.
They do. Oh yeah, they have a lot of concerts. I mean, there's a lot of famous people coming through. I mean, they had what's his name? Ricky Nelson's kids, the Nelson twins. I don't know if you remember them from the 90s.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
The hair metal band, kind of
Yeah.
like poppy band.
And
yeah.
then they disappeared, but now they're doing a tour of remembering their dad.
Oh, cool.
So they're
cool.
doing a kind of remembrance tour, and they're about ready to show up there this year.
Oh, nice.
And then they got several other things. They do ballet to plays to everything there, movies, concerts. So they keep that place very well busy throughout the year. So
Nice.
it was nice to
Yeah.
kind of see the behind the scenes of it all. It's not. It's smaller than what the Orpheum is
Mm-hmm.
and everything, but it's just taller. Basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Dan was trying. And you guys were both trying to describe to me. It was like you said about 6 floors, 6
Yeah.
levels. I was thinking, well, is it built into the ground and some of it, and then some of it's up in the air, or
There's
'cause I saw the
basement,
I saw the outside picture of it. It doesn't look like that's enough
No.
for 6 floors. So that's why I was surprised.
Yeah,
But
it's weird how it is leveled out and everything
Mhm.
like that, and how it's numbered. But there are 6 floors too.
that's crazy.
And staircases galore.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the Forum, except on steroids when it comes to the amount
Yeah.
of staircases everywhere.
Well, just the picture alone that you showed me, or you sent to me last night, it kind of reminded me of a modern. Well, I mean, kind of like the Orpheum from the stage looking out, or even the Dodge Theater that we've had the pleasure of investigating a couple of times,
Right.
3 or 4 times down there in Dodge City. It looked just like it, I mean, to me, and I was just like, oh wow. But it's modern where it's being used, and I mean, of course,
Yeah.
Dodge Theater has been being renovated off and on, and even the Orpheum, the very first time we were in there, was being renovated,
Right.
and now it's off and running full blown. So it's like, I don't know how much has changed since then, but yeah,
I'm
it
sure
resembled
a
a
lot
lot.
has changed since we've been last time, but
That's cool. What kind of claims did you guys have, or if you wanted, what do you think was going on, or did you guys capture anything, any voices? You told me when you first walked in, you guys suspected somebody being there.
yeah, right off the bat, within about 10 minutes of being there,
Mhm.
like Jake, Dan, and I, we pretty much looked at each other right at the same time because as Josh was talking to us, because he'd only been working there for a few months,
Oh wow.
and so he didn't know all the claims, but
Mhm.
he had his own stories and own kind of odd things that happened to him down in the basement, taking a nap down there and stuff like that.
On company time.
Well, yeah, lunchtime. He said.
Oh, lunchtime.
Yeah,
Sure.
lunchtime.
That's when I take my best naps.
Yeah.
But
Not during the day though.
But yeah, we heard it at the same time. It was the sound of a woman talking that sounded like it was coming from up above on the next level.
Wow. Anybody make out what she was saying, or
No, not at the
who it
time.
could have
No.
been, or
No,
okay, it's all right.
we'll be working on that one.
Yeah, I
Trying to
bet.
figure it out.
I bet.
Yeah.
Did she make a return appearance after that, just the one time, or
No,
did you
there's
just have a
there's
couple
a few more
instances?
times during the evening we heard the woman talking, and wow, we had multiple person conversations in the background that we could hear. But
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
mainly
one of
the
those kind of
backstage area.
places.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You
Understandable.
I didn't really hear anything like solid, like I could make out what they were saying, or
Just you
anything
could hear
like
the
that.
pitch and the
You
voices
hear
and
you
stuff.
hear
Yeah.
an audible voice somewhere,
Mhm.
and just go after it. But
That's cool.
I know Chris and I were we were out in the hallway
Mm-hmm.
and over by a DVR and just kind of watching everything and talking. And this is probably halfway through the night, and we're on the main level, and it sounded like a child kind of scream out,
Really?
and I thought it was, I I blame everything on Roth. I was like, oh, that's just Roth.
I mean, he is
Yeah.
childlike, so I mean.
But but he turned and he's like, no, it sounded like it was coming. I was like, yeah, it did sound like it was coming from up above on the staircase. So I started to, we stood there for a couple more minutes, and then I decided to go up the stairs
Mhm.
to go kind of just wander through. And as I'm walking the staircase, I could hear somebody talking up above
Hmm.
and stuff, and I know nobody was up there because
Wow.
the smokers were outside, and the rest were in the auditorium. So.
Gotcha. Just curiosity, when you guys heard like the child scream, the voice, the woman, whatever, not scream, but child voice, did anybody happen to go out and try to duplicate it from outside, see if it's bleed over in?
That's the thing. That place is completely solid.
Oh, cool. Right on.
And we were so far into the building, there wasn't any.
Yeah.
Sorry, chair's a little uncomfortable. You couldn't hear anything from
Really?
outside. You couldn't even hear anything. Really, like we all went up to the next levels and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't hear each other.
No cars bleeding in either?
On the fourth floor,
Uh-huh.
if you're on the outside wall, exterior wall, the businesses areas, they have a lot of glass.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can hear
So
a little
that,
bit of car noise in that area, but beyond that, being in the building itself, you can hear them.
that makes more sense. Yeah, just the fact that, I mean, there's nothing cushioning, no padding through glass, basically. It's going to do what it's going to do. So, cool, right on. I was just
Yeah.
trying to figure out how airtight it was, or,
But yeah, walking, you couldn't hear anybody walking around
Cool.
upstairs.
Wow, that's cool.
I've never been in a situation where we weren't bleeding in with each other
Mhm.
and everything. So you could literally lose each other in the building and you
Nice.
wouldn't hear them.
We did that a few times.
It reminds me
yeah.
of the days of the
I
old,
kept wandering off. So.
reminds me of the days of the old forum we used to go to, where
Yeah.
if you took the wrong staircase, you might end up where well, when I first
Yeah.
went in there a couple of times, I don't know where the hell I'm at. I'm kind of a little worried. I might get, no, just kidding, but no, that's cool. I mean, some of the staircases at the forum were pretty creepy and just,
Forum was creepy. I wasn't really creeped out in this place.
yeah.
I was just taken back by how beautiful and nice and clean and just
Sure.
it was just
Yeah.
beautiful inside.
That's cool.
And
They took pride in restoring
Yeah.
that place for
yeah,
sure.
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
Nice.
And downstairs where the jail cells were formerly, it wasn't jail cells like you would think, like
They're community jails.
yeah. So they just throw people into the room and lock them.
Yeah.
So they were all together.
Yeah.
Probably men over here, women over here, and that's how they did it. But now they're art rooms where
Art
they do all their crafts and stuff for the shows. So that was interesting. That was a lot of fun. But
One in the courthouse as well. That was neat.
yeah, the the ballroom was fascinating. But
Yeah.
you said that was apartments.
Yeah, it started out as apparently it was a courtroom back in the 1890s. Then they transformed it to apartments. 2 apartments is what Josh was saying. One side was apartment A, one was B. Yeah, they did the apartments on the 6th and the 4th floors, and then of course down in the dressing rooms were apartments as well. So yeah, it was interesting. I can't see how it was laid out. It has probably 15-foot tall ceilings, so that'd be a crazy looking apartment. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So what was the deal with the jail cells? Sorry, I missed that part of it. I mean, were they actual jail cells, and what did they use them for?
We already covered that.
I'm sorry, I stepped away. I
Sure.
apologize.
they were communal jail cells. They were the large, probably 20 by 20
Cool.
rooms, limestone walls.
Okay. Oh wow.
That they probably like one side was a male, one side was a female.
Oh, I gotcha.
Rooms.
Yeah.
All separate, yeah.
Any famous occupants that we knew of, or were
You
told
know,
of?
we didn't get anything of anybody famous
Mm-hmm.
from there. You know, like not saying we were picking up like
You're right.
that. It was, but the story wise, we didn't get any stories of like famous people that had ever been there.
I
So,
gotcha.
You know, we didn't have any of that to work on or work off of. So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was just there was a gentleman that passed away who wanted his remains to be there, and so they cremated him,
Okay.
and then they drilled a hole in the floor, poured his ashes in, and then put a plate on top of it to commemorate.
Cool. Right on.
And that was down there in front of the jails. Jail
Wow.
cells. So
Oops.
we had
Sure, make a noise.
the camera pointing down there, and we had an audio recorder down there next to it. To
Cool.
See if there's anything going on. I know. I think Jake and Roth and Paula were down there
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff with all that
Nice.
for a big part of that. So
That's awesome.
hopefully they got something. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it was just a night of trying to figure out the history of it and who in the world was there. So, because we really, and you know, besides some voices and stuff and some shadows here and
Mhm.
there, it was really, you know, there was a fire in the 60s
Interesting.
that caught the back part of the stage. They had the boards back there are still there, and you can still touch it and wipe it in the black
Like the soot.
The
so
soot,
it
the
still
charge.
comes
Wow.
off on your fingers and stuff.
And that was from the 60s?
yeah.
Wow, so you figured, 70 years, is that what it is? 50, 60?
And the original
60 years?
steps that went up to underneath the stage and everything were
Uh-huh.
still there
Wow.
and everything.
That's
So
cool.
It was really cool that they preserved as much as they could
Uh,
of everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was neat to finally see a place that took pride in everything, and they put so much money and time and effort into it.
well, I mean, we see that down in Dodge City at the Santa Fe Depot.
The
They're,
depot, yes.
the Boot Hill
It's-
Museum,
It's
or
a
the
lot like that.
Boot Hill, what's it called? I can't never say the word, repertoire or whatever it's called, but they put on great shows down there, dinner and a movie, or show, excuse me, not a movie, but a show. Yeah, I mean, that place, it kind of mirrors it as far as cleanliness and, the
Right.
time and effort they put into restoring it.
Oh yeah.
So,
exactly.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to get out there and check it out myself, because,
Nope. Right.
okay.
We were told you can't come.
That's fine, too.
You didn't want to show up to this. No.
Whatever.
Whatever. Shut up.
No, I'm kidding. Nope. Yep. So that's cool. I'm trying to think what else, if anything I can think of from last night. Is there anything else you guys can think of that you want to talk about or can talk
It
about?
was cold as hell out there.
It was
Inside the
cold.
building too, or just
No,
in
it
general?
was just outside.
Do you guys get your 5 inches of?
There were 5 inches of snow.
there
for sure.
was definitely, yeah.
I knew
there
that.
was
I
snow
thought
out
there might be because
Yeah.
the further north you went, they got a little bit more snow than we got around here, which is I'm glad you guys made it safe and back, no problems. Hopefully,
Yeah.
It was
Nobody's-
nice.
No, it was
Cool.
a nice trip.
good,
Nice
good, good.
trip.
It's not too far, about
Short
about
trip.
45 minutes to an hour.
Awesome.
Depends where you
yeah,
came from.
I love the fact that it was a very simple drive.
Yeah.
Wasn't even an hour,
Yeah, well, for me it would have been from Derby, but yeah,
Yeah.
for you guys it's further north. Yeah, it's short and sweet.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. About 45 minutes ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
About 50.
50.
Oh,
About
okay.
50.
I got you. That's cool. Yeah, and like I said, I'm glad everybody was able to go. Majority of the team went last night, except for I think about 2 or 3 of us didn't get a chance to go. 3 of us, 4, maybe 3, 4. I don't know. But Yeah, that's okay. We'll get it out there hopefully again. Hopefully the guy is receptive to coming back out there. And
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
He said anytime we can work out a schedule for everything.
what are you doing right now?
I'm free.
Let's go.
I wish.
No,
We'd have to do a thing called the job in the morning, maybe.
Yeah,
Dang it,
yeah.
stupid jobs.
no, I'm busy tonight, so no.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. Yep. No, I can't wait to get out there. Like I said, I had second thoughts even
I hate
going out
that
there.
you didn't get to. You know,
I
it's a
considered
brand
it.
new location too.
Yeah.
You know,
I just have a full plate right now with work
know.
and life and everything else in between. It's just gotta juggle it.
you
Unfortunately.
gonna be there for Dodge,
Hopefully everything works out. Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
I know we have a game that day. Not me personally, but
right?
too old for that shit. But kidding.
What are you talking about? You signed up for softball last year.
I know, because I had so much time in the first place. You know, what's one more thing on my plate, right? So.
Projects that we have going on.
God, I
and
tell you,
stuff.
I just don't. Yeah. Thing is, man, about, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'd sit around the house, just play games, watch TV, and now it's like, fuck. What's a home? I don't have a home. I'm on the go constantly. And as you guys are too, and most of the team's busy, you know, we have lives and
You're
stuff.
just
and
paying rent there. You know.
Yeah.
Dan's
You're not
always in Atlanta, Georgia, so just
Exactly,
kidding.
exactly. I travel
No.
to Atlanta, Georgia all the time.
Atlanta, Kansas, that is. But yeah, and you know, just things happen. So that's cool. Plus, football season's on us still, and the playoffs, and gotta give a shout out to those Chiefs. They actually won a game at home, and they're playing for the first division champion or the first AFC championship game in Arrowhead, and I don't remember how long ever. I'm just kidding.
68.
I don't know. I forgot they played in the Super Bowl. Well, they played in number 1, but also 4. Last time they actually been to the Super Bowl, so we'll see if they make it. I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but I know Jason's hating it, but just because Roth likes them. And Dan, you like the Chiefs, don't you, Dan?
Yes, I like the Chiefs.
I thought
Oh,
you
I
did.
don't. I don't hate the Chiefs. Not at all.
You don't have to. Roth's not here. You don't have to. I'm just playing around.
Oh no! You should have seen how cocky they were last night.
He was pretty cocky.
That's cool.
He was.
All 5 inches. Anyways,
He had his KC Chiefs gloves on.
oh, I bet.
Spouting out to everybody in the restaurant. I about said bar. We didn't go to a bar. We went to a restaurant. But yeah, he was all cocky.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But we're playing the Patriots, man. I
Nah,
don't know.
they're beatable.
Well, they are. We'll
Yep,
see what
yep,
happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yep. But you said you asked. Speaking of Dodge, it's coming up in 2 weeks. Sold out event down there at Santa Fe Depot, which means that we'll do another one probably sooner than later, which is fine. The place is awesome. Dodge City treats us very well,
Yeah.
and we love going down there. And
Yeah, we'll get to see Colonel Cindy.
Colonel Cindy, what? Did you say Colonel Cindy?
Carl.
Oh, this is Colonel. I'm like,
Carl.
well, I was thinking Captain Carl. I'm like, we
Captain
don't
Carl.
have a name for Cindy yet. Colonel
Cindy.
Cindy? I was like, where'd that come from? You threw me off for a minute there,
I
Dan.
apologize.
She's watching, by the way.
My tongue gets in the way a lot.
It happens.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I just,
Sounds
I
like
just,
a problem there.
It does.
I just didn't hear you. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, that's coming
How
up.
you doing, sir?
No, we see them, see John out there,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
try out some the new toys out there in Dodge and see if we see any.
Ah, that was fun last night.
See if
too.
we can actually pick up anything in there, especially in the theater
Yeah.
part of it,
Yeah.
because that keeps changing every time we get there.
Yeah, I'll never forget the last time we were down there back in August. Just the fact that we caught what we did in the theater and, well, in the basement theater everywhere. Just like the fact that it was answering the way it did on command. And like you mentioned last week, I think it was, we weren't even the ones. I mean, we were asking some of the questions, you know, guiding the guest along, but
Right.
they were the ones who were holding all the equipment, so it wasn't as if we were manipulating something. And just remarkable stuff we
Right.
caught.
Yeah, you weren't holding anything. You had your recorder in your hand.
I think I had the spirit box going off and
Yeah,
on.
you had the spirit box too.
And then the REM pod was
REM pod was set
fairly
up.
close to me, but not really.
Yeah, you
the
had that
stage.
set up. You had the guests had the dowsing rods, K2s,
K2, they had two
and all
K2s,
that.
yeah, and we were
And-
away. Yep.
That video still, it's still a pretty amazing video watching all their reactions to everything, especially there in the theater, you know,
Yeah.
as they're sitting at the table. That was, to me, that was pretty astonishing to see their reaction to everything. Plus the REM pod going off at the same time on the stage,
Kind
going
of
through their
confirming.
questions and stuff. Hey, are you on the stage? You know, can you come this way? And then the REM pod would go off. So
Right.
that was
That'd be
awesome.
good. I mean, the stage has been, performing really well lately. over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And seeing the back
Well,
in
it
the
is a
past,
stage.
the
Well,
back
it
in the
is a
past, we had things going on, mostly shadow people and a couple different things, a couple of whistles, maybe some whispering voices. But last time it was, man, the place was alive. And I know if Jake was here, he would second that. He loves that area because him and Renee had the incidences they had, and you witnessed. I think Jason did part
I
of
did.
it, and
I watched that all. Yeah.
yeah, and
They
Renee.
called me names.
Renee got well. We call you names too, Dan.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
but just joking. No, but I know Renee got a little spooked, which is Renee doesn't get spooked very often. And sorry about that, people at home. A couple dogs upstairs barking. But I did get confirmation from Carl. He says it's General Cindy, but Cindy says it's Captain Chaos for Carl, and she is actually
Chaos Control.
Chaos Control. So
I
good
can
luck
see
on
that.
that, Cindy. I know that's a tall order to get that guy under control. No, I'm kidding. We love Carl and Cindy, of course, and yep. So, but no, they're good. They're great people. Dot City people are great. It's my hometown. I grew up there and spent 20 plus years there, and the fact that all those years I've been wanting to go in these. I mean, I've been in some of these locations. We go down there, and it's just.
Right.
But now it's a different light. We do actually investigate and things of that nature, and the things we capture. So, it's always fun to get down there and stay. Keep that
It always
going.
feels like, for me, I mean, you grew up there, but
Yeah.
I didn't. But every time going to Dodge, it feels like I'm going home.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
just always feels so comfortable going there and having fun and
Yeah,
being at the depot. I feel comfortable and happy.
yeah.
So
I get it, 'cause that's how I feel kind of like at Wilson too. When the first time we went there, and it was like hard to
Yeah.
leave. It's like, man, I don't want to, like, part of my soul left when I left it there or something. But yeah, it's fun. Wilson's a good time, and
Wilson's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
so I can relate. Yeah,
A lot of great memories in Wilson.
yeah. We spent quite a bit of time up there, and Dodge and Oberlin. They're becoming Nest City. They're becoming our home away from homes. It seems like anymore. Well, even Tahlequah for that matter. We've been down there enough to where. Yeah,
It's kind of like just Western Kansas is starting to
yeah. It's becoming our home.
become, yeah.
Well, a lot of it's because Wichita is such a hard place to get into. I mean, we got into places. Don't get me wrong. We do private and public investigations here. Maybe not public events like we used to back in the
Right.
days, but I mean,
Shoot, we can't. It's hard to get anything started, public event wise.
yeah,
Private investigations here in Wichita, we get those still.
right,
We
yeah,
don't talk about them,
Yeah, 'cause they're-
it's private. But
confidential and stuff like that. We respect the wishes of the the homeowners and stuff. We talk about a couple cases. We talk about just a roundabout ways and the things we had and whatnot. But
talk about the craziness without giving away the actual location or anything like
yeah,
that. But
definitely.
but no, we're actually going to be expanding into the eastern state of Kansas now. So
Even more so, yeah, especially with Leavenworth on the table. We've been to Topeka. We're going to up to Kansas City. Probably hit a couple things up there, hopefully. Got some
Yeah.
stuff in the works. And that's just a few that we can talk about right now. We've been to. You've seen us on TV. Or, yeah, I
I've
wish.
seen this on TV.
You've seen us on Facebook Live and stuff like that. I apologize. We talked about it here on the show, some of the places we hit up there and our results. But, yeah, we got some other places that are coming up that are going to be fun. I mean, we'll hopefully do some public investigations and private there and whatnot. And
I mean, I think one of the locations, is going to be a straight up automatic public place.
yeah, it is.
It's not going to be a private investigation. It's going to be public right away. So
Yeah. Is the
kind of
one-
looking forward to that.
Which one you talking about? The one I'm talking.
I have no
Oh.
idea. I just know you told me that.
Oh,
there's
that one, okay.
coming up.
Hopefully that's in the works. We're trying to get something put together, and we'll give once we get it locked down. We'll go get it more solidified. We'll get it out there because we definitely want the public to join us and whatnot and get things going. And then of course with Wilson coming up in April with the big first. Not really. We always talk about first annual. It's actually called inaugural.
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 Paraconference, metaphysical conference. We're gonna do up there in Wilson. That's gonna be fun. Where we're gonna have 3 days of things going on with vendors and guest speakers, and Saturday night we'll do the investigation and whatnot. So it'll be fun. So we'll get the tickets out there, information pretty quick
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna get the information out. Hopefully by next week.
Okay, awesome.
Go live with that.
Yeah,
Just gotta do some more tying up loose ends
Sure.
this week. Him and I are working on stuff, so
Yeah.
we're gonna get that over to the hotel and then get that out there. For any of the vendors that have contacted me or contacted Road Trip,
Yep.
I'll get with you guys and give you the lowdown of what the prices are and everything like that, and,
Sure.
and get you signed up for everything. That way we can start actually having a roster of people that are
Sure.
going to be out there. So
Yeah, and I also put it on the Everyday Legacy Paranormal Facebook page also too. So if you can't get a hold of Road Trip that way, hit me up. We're all the same people. We manage both pages, so we'll definitely between the two of us get something worked out, prices, names and whatnot. So we're building a big roster already, so it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see how this thing works out, and the turnout should be great. So that's coming. I'll be here before we know it. So
well, our public events there sell out all the time. We usually have quite the load of people that show
Sure.
up and everything. So now we're adding just more fun things for everybody to do.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
listen and stuff. And the presentations that are going to happen are, as long as everything works out right,
Yeah.
it's going to be fantastic.
I mean, we have people coming far as way from Arizona and things of that nature, and some local in state and
Yeah.
Colorado and different places. So you never know who we're gonna have there and what they have to talk about, and it'd be fun. It'd be worth the price of admission. It'd be fun, and that should be April 26th through 28th. And so it's the last weekend in April we'll be
Yeah.
doing that. So definitely keep. We'll definitely promote it on this show as much as we can, but also on our Facebook pages and everywhere else we're out there. We'll put maybe on our websites also too for sure.
And
But-
if you want to go ahead, you can book a room for that weekend if you want to go ahead and book a room for that hotel.
Yeah,
Because
just tell them
the
what it's
rooms
for.
are going to go fast when they do. So.
Yeah. And there's other places. There's some couple B&Bs there too. So I mean, if you can't get a room at the hotel, there'll be some other locations and a couple other things. So don't fret. So we did have a question from one of our viewers that says, and this goes out to the panel. What are some of the most interesting experiences you've had in Dodge City? And it could be not necessarily at Santa Fe Depot. It could just be we've been 3 or 4 places down there. So actually been more than that, but
Oh shoot!
I can't remember all of them we've done. But yeah, just something you can think about if you have anything, and we can go from there.
Wow, for Dodge, I've been with you for all of them. It's been let's see, we had with the Carnegie from the depot to Boot Hill to the theater. I think one of
I've
the
done a
most,
couple of houses there too, and we also did the nunnery down there also too. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
those, and we have quite a few.
Yeah.
That's some of the ones I can think of off the top of my
yeah,
head.
we
But,
helped out
but,
with that.
but go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Whatever.
And then, anyways, go ahead.
Honestly, I would have to say one of as much as I love the depot and the Carnegie and all that, and Boot Hill,
Mhm.
fascinating places. Probably my favorite was the theater,
Oh yeah.
the old Dodge Theater.
Sure.
The claims that were coming out to us
Oh yeah.
from that was it had been closed for 14 years. The doors were chained up, so it was just sat vacant. Again, it was an old theater from, what was that? The 30s?
At least the
20s or
30s. Yeah,
30s,
at
yeah.
least.
But for 14 years until the day we went in there, they had just opened it up
Right.
to do renovations and try to get it going, and we were contacted because within all the dirt and dust that was in there, they were finding little tiny footprints, barefoot.
Handprints too.
And
Yeah, footprints.
handprints.
Yep.
But and there was no cause or reason for that, and unless there's a homeless child that was running around in there who snuck in, but there's no signs of break-in anywhere.
Right.
So,
Yep.
but when we were there, it was as the night went on, the footprints and the handprints just seemed to multiply, as if there's someone watching us and following us around all night long.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them because I mean, it's a layer of dust on the seats, the chair, or the
Oh,
floors,
yeah.
and we saw them materialize. We'd go aisle by aisle, and then all of a sudden we'd come back, and there'd be a bare footprint there, or a
Hands in
handprint
the
there
weird
on
way, like
the seats,
That's
like something
crazy.
was grabbing
and
the
on
seats.
on the floor,
Yeah, yeah.
as if they were just like doing
Well-
a handstand or something.
Well,
like that.
remember the thing that could have been along the way. Somebody got in there, maybe it was some squatters. Maybe it's always a possibility. But the fact they were materializing in front of us was one thing. But the thing that really stuck out for me was the ones that were because their seats are still there. For the majority of the seats are still there at the theater. You would see footprints that were walking down the basically the rows of seats. and they were underneath the seats where you could see who could put a footprint underneath that seat, the angle that it was. I mean, it's, you know, it doesn't really compute or make sense, but the fact that they were materializing, so I mean, they were like walking through seats basically,
Right.
and it was just bizarre. It's
That's
like, holy,
crazy.
you know, what was that about? You know, kind of a thing. And it, like
I
said,
have a picture of the foot. If I can send it to you, can you bring it up
later. Yeah.
I
mean,
could do what you just did.
I'd have to do it that way just because it's his. I'm running off of Jeremiah's computer and it's his email, so
You know
it wouldn't
what?
do me any good.
I'll send you the picture, and then you can just set it up there.
Nope, you can do it. You can play Vanna White and go up to the cameras and turn
I'm
the
not- I'm
letters
not
and wear the,
playing
wear,
Vanna
wear the
White.
dress this night 'cause I'm tired of wearing the dress. As far as you know, I'm pantless right now. All you see is my top, so wouldn't be the first time.
Wow.
Anyways, no, I'm kidding. No, Dodge City was awesome. The theater was good. The one thing we were also down, and which I don't know how many people know this. I mean, I went to movies there. Oh, I think I saw Star Wars there and E.T. and things like that back in the
Oh wow, sweet.
back when they showed it a second time. Not the original. I'm kidding. Yeah, I saw it when they
Which
first the
film?
first play. Either one.
Okay.
I saw it first. You know, first. I mean, they released them there. I saw them there, and so like you know, talking about 70s, 80s, we're talking like that. So I watched a lot of movies there over the years, and I never knew that underneath the stage area, because the stage is just a screen. It was never like they used it back in the days for, you know, like vaudeville and that kind of thing. But
Right.
I never knew underneath the stage was dressing rooms down below, and they're, you know, old concrete, dirty, kind of not dirty, but just 'cause they're dusty underground and stuff. And
Right.
it's cool because they show the actors and actresses that had been there years ago had signed the walls and stuff like that, and they're
Oh,
still
sweet.
down there. But when we were down there, it had rained a lot prior to that. Some of the area was flooding down there,
Yeah.
and the thing that stuck out to me is I remember Jeremiah and I went down there to set up a DVR camera, and we're running cable and all that stuff, laying cable, running cable. I'm kidding, anyways. Anyways, we're running cable down to the basement, and we, for some reason, dumb reason, I don't know why, dumbass us, we didn't bring our flashlights. We just idiots, you know, and playing dark.
Go in a dark building without flashlights.
Right, go figure.
It's
So
just natural now.
Yeah.
I mean, we had our hands full carrying equipment. So anyway, we went down there into the farthest area we could, and we were back in the back of the what do you call it, the dressing room area, and all of a sudden I hear some splash, 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 splash. I'm like, oh shit, something's coming out of Jeremiah. And we're both looking at each other like in the dark, like as much as we can. Well, fuck, here we go, you know, kind of a thing. It is what it is. It's gonna whatever we come. But then we figured out, no, it was running away from us. So we're like, okay, that's cool. So we went back upstairs, you know, and everything. And that was the night when we were down there, and the infamous wet footprint showed up out of nowhere. And it was coming out from the shower area, which to get to these shower areas, you have to climb up these kind of a concrete girder thing where you have to step over this couple things to get there. And so it's not as if one of us was running around once again barefoot in this place, but it was coming out of like the shower area as if something was in the shower and stepped down, which it was a fresh print because you could see it start to dissipate by the time you and I think Jason and I were clear up in the projection booth.
Yeah.
So we had to run clear down, you know, 3 flights of stairs. 3 flights of stairs? Yeah.
Something like that.
And just to get there, and I mean, it was still there, but then it dissipated almost by the time we got there, you know. And I remember Renee and them were down there initially, and they actually got it on camera, or I think Roth was there too. They got pictures of it before, and you know, it's when it first happened. So it was pretty awesome to see that happening because, like I said earlier in that time, you know, this isn't during setup when Jeremiah and I had both seen that first or heard that noise, but that wasn't that footprint 'cause we would have saw that probably coming back down later on.
Right.
So it was crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was interesting, but I was trying to see if there's any other questions or comments.
I did send that picture to you.
Okay.
And that's the original photograph that was sent to me prior to us even going there.
I was trying to think. Mike and Renee on the Facebook or on the page was saying that something about a chain. Does that ring a bell?
A chain?
Yeah. If either one of you would call in, Mike or Renee, call in, and if you want to, or you know, hit on the message here. I don't remember this chain incident. Not to my knowledge, I can't think of anything like that at all.
No, I
I
don't know.
don't recall.
Yeah, so if you want to, like I said, let me know what it is because I don't have no clue.
Was it at the theater?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the Dodge Theater when this happened because I know they've been with this both locations.
Yeah.
Everything but Carnegie. So I can't think of what that is.
Renee can call.
Is that what she said?
Oh, that's what Mike said.
Oh,
Good call, Mike. Good
ah,
call.
you cowards. Oh, Renee sent the footprint too. This is the wet footprint. I'll try to get this pulled up
You
here.
got the wet one?
Yeah.
The one I sent to you was the one in the dust.
Oh, in the dust. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. I'm gonna get this set up real quick here. Sorry about the camera angle and stuff, but
No, I don't remember anything about the chain, but there was a lot that was happening, and I wasn't with everybody at, in each location, so I probably might have missed that one with the chain. Because I know that you and I...
trying to get this here angled right. Sorry, it's not on the camera yet, guys.
Right there.
It's probably the best.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here. So this is the infamous wet footprint. I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm trying to hold the camera up to it. I can't put it on the screen very well. I'm holding it, so I apologize for the shakiness of it. Oh, dang. You can see the
Darker
words.
enough, but it actually made it look better.
The dark did?
Yeah.
But the only thing is, it's a reflection of the computer screen that you're seeing.
They're all
But
shaky like you.
I know I'm trying to hold it because I'm trying to steady it. Sorry.
Yeah, you
That's
can
a
see
little
the
better.
toes. You can see the toes there.
Yeah.
That's a lot better there. I'm
Um,
holding it better now, guys. But yeah, you can see, like I said, the toes are facing down the bottom of your screen.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
crazy.
Now that it was already starting to fade, the water was actually drying
Mm-hmm.
on that, but it was none of us were barefoot down there. None of us
Right.
were ever barefoot.
Know what your
running
guesstimate about the foot size on that?
It was
Pretty decent size. I mean,
yeah.
it was thin, like you could kind of see there, but it was kind of. I mean, it was long. I mean, not as big as like some of our feet, but But
Carl said it was the chain under the stage. It was swinging back and forth.
chain-
Start swinging
Oh,
back
you know
and
what? I remember during part of the
under stage,
investigation.
yeah, back there.
I remember Renee and Aaron and Mike, and I can't remember who else went down there. They were down there by themselves. We were upstairs facing the actual balcony. So I didn't. That's probably why I don't remember that incident, because I wasn't a part of it, and you
Right.
guys did. Renee actually sent me the pictures of the footsteps. Let me see if I can get them up here again too. Hang on, I'm gonna try to get them in just a second. Oh, okay. No, I lied. She sent me the. It was the handprint on the stairs, or on the seats. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's going to show very well or not, but I'll try. Give me a second here. I'm trying to get things adjusted. Ooh, that's bad.
I can send you stuff
There
like
you
that
go.
too.
That's pretty good there. Well, nope.
Let me try to do something real quick here. I apologize. I'm producing on the fly, guys. I apologize. A lot of it's the back glare of the. So you can see the screen. That's the problem. So I'm trying to get it to where you can't. And don't worry, people at home can't see me doing this. Ruth, Dan and Jason are watching this.
I'm just watching you, having fun.
Think this is fun?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
we
doing
could-
well.
We could hold it up to our camera probably.
I could do it on
You
mine
wouldn't get the
too, but
glare.
I was trying to just see if I could do it. Let me see something real quick here. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Dang it. I'm trying to work on it, guys. It's not coming very well through, just for the fact that the glare of the screen is throwing it off.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, what's more important, eating or talking? Come on. Mike said he would call in, but he's eating. No biggie, guys. Yeah, like I said, no, we didn't get a chance to. I didn't know about the chain underneath the stage because I wasn't part of there.
I've got it.
If you can,
Photograph here, I could put up to the camera.
you can try.
here.
Jason's gonna walk up to the camera,
Okay.
and
This is my hand, close to a little handprint that we saw. You could see the.
you can kind of see. I see a human hand.
You
Kidding.
see a hand, and it's like a little child's hand.
Oh, to the left
Go
of the
to
hand,
your-
yeah.
Go to your other. There you go.
Yeah,
That way a little
right
bit.
there.
Yeah, you can kind of see the tips of the pad and everything, and the fingers. Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, I know we had some better, even more so than those. I know you had one.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a guest. Hold on, Renee's calling in. Hang on a second.
Awesome.
Hang on, Renee. They're getting the headphones on. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What? I'm kidding.
What?
All right, Jason's trying to get plugged in.
No,
Oh,
you're good. You
hold
go
on.
ahead.
Oh no, we're waiting for you, Jason.
Okay.
The star of the show. Got to hold on. The prima donna, the diva. I'm kidding. No, welcome to the Cryptic.
You can't even say
Cryptic
it.
Partland. The Cryptic Heartland podcast. Renee's part of the team out in Dodge City. You want to talk about the chains that you're calling in? I'm assuming.
Yes, since Mike thinks eating's more important.
I know how rude. Well, the thing that really irks me about that, he didn't even offer us food. So no, I'm kidding.
I know.
Oh, Mike,
You
we
could
love you.
offer it to
We love
me.
you, buddy. Go ahead, sorry, Renee. So you talking about this? Is this the chain incident?
Yes, it's not under the stage. It was actually behind the curtain in the main theater area. Mike, Cindy, and I, or not Cindy, sorry, Aaron and I were talking, and I think you guys were setting up still and things, and we just heard chains rattling, and we were like, "What the heck was that?" So
What the heck
we
was
never
it?
did. I have no idea. Mike went back behind the curtain, and we didn't find any chains. We don't know, what the deal was, what was going on, but of course it didn't come on the recorders. So
Of course not.
so we can't really prove, what it was, but it was pretty interesting.
Nice. Yeah. No, I didn't hear. I don't remember. And you probably told me that. I just don't remember that part.
Yeah, I mean, we still can't explain it to this day, but it seems like whenever Mike and I are together, we can, get some shenanigans started, stir up some ghosts and whatnot. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. You heard our part of it. What was the most interesting or crazy thing you had happen down in Dodge?
I would have to say probably the Depot Theater. We
Which part?
and that was probably the very first time that we were there, when Captain Carl was pretty skeptical, or I mean, he was open to things, but he was still skeptical, and
Right.
Carl and I were downstairs in the basement.
You're talking about the very first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that is the very first time that I actually had felt something touch me. I just had this staticky feeling, and
Right.
you had asked me, you looked at me, I guess the look on my face, showed it all.
What?
And I said, well, I think something touched me. I have that staticky feeling running across my arm. And
Mhm.
Carl just kind of shook his head, in agreement. He's like, yep, he's standing right behind you. And I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
it just, kind of freaked me out. But that's the first encounter that we had when we came across man, I can't even think of his name right now because my mind's
Yeah.
going blank.
Well, I think they call him Wyatt. I think is that Wyatt?
Yes.
Wyatt or
Okay.
Walter?
Yes.
Walter or Wyatt. But that was if I remember right, Renee, that was the incident when that's the first time you and I had been in the basement with Carl that night, and he was talking about Squidward, the infamous kind of the basement
Yes.
mascot that, they have a prop that was, worked hard on and never been used, and sometimes it seems to move on its own or whatever, has its mind of its own kind of a thing, and that's when we're laughing and you're talking about Squidward. And I remember on my recorder right before this incident happened, we I heard something mock us, go like Squidward, kind of imitate us, and then
Mm-hmm.
a second later you can hear yourself on recorder go, oh, something just tugged on my. You had a black hoodie on that night. Something tugged on your
Yes.
hoodie, like the hood part, or touched your hair too, and you freaked out, which is. I always found it interesting because Carl had just told us, prior to this is where the incident where his tools are getting, moved around and stuff, and it's kind of a prankster, the guy that down there, kind of mischievous.
Right.
But this is also the same location where I had seen the shadow person run that I didn't tell you initially until later on that, it looked like my oldest son at the time. He was little, but the same shape of his head and everything, and you told me later on, you're like, I didn't want to tell you that either because I saw the same thing and I didn't want to freak you out. I remember you commenting on that, saying that it resembled my oldest son too, which is weird.
Right.
But obviously he wasn't with us because at that time he was probably like 5 or something, or not even, maybe 5.
He was young.
I can't remember, 3 or 5 or somewhere in that area. But yeah, this kid was short. I don't know. He was probably closer to your height, Jason. No, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but he was kind of shorter.
It is what it is.
But he had a different type of hairstyle, so I know it wasn't you, obviously. It was just a black shadow, and it ran. It probably would have ran through a wall, basically. Well, there's that cutout by the refrigerator back there and things. Kind of close to the ductwork down in that basement, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was interesting nonetheless. So, but
Right.
Go ahead.
And when I seen him, that same shadow, he was running from right to left, and the reason that I could see him was because of, there was light back there. So I
Oh,
mean,
right,
it was,
right.
yeah,
They had that
it
security
was
light
like
back
clear as
there.
day, right?
Yeah, and that's
So
kind of
I
what I
mean,
saw too, because that's what the area that was facing was the security light underneath all this ductwork. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. And that seems to be where they both, like to walk back and forth. We get a lot of, experiences back there.
Yeah.
You can sit there and, I mean, in the dark and just stare there, and you can just see the shadows going back and forth like they're working or,
Yeah.
just pacing. So
It
it's
seems
pretty
like
interesting.
it seems like Wyatt, what we call Wyatt, like Carl nicknamed, is more towards underneath the staircase, though, kind of back where the old tunnels are, where they used to go underneath the train. That's kind of where he seems to hang out, more so, which is weird because I think it was Jake. If he was here, he'd tell his story about it. He went down there with Jeremiah to run the cables again for the cameras, and he came around the corner and saw somebody he thought was Jeremiah and didn't think twice about it. And then Jeremiah came from a different direction, and he's like, "Holy shit! Where were you at?" He's like, "Was that? Didn't I just see you?" And he's like, "No, I was over here." So it couldn't have been Jeremiah, and there was nobody else in the basement. Which that basement, especially when you're not used to it and you're by yourself, it can be kind of a little leery. I mean, you're close to the high voltage area, which can play with your mind a little bit too, kind of cause some paranoia and all that stuff and uneasiness. But yeah,
I know Jake had his incident that night, and
Yeah.
I think Erin had
that's right.
had her incident that night
yeah,
too.
and that wasn't
Oh, she did.
one of
Yeah.
the first times. I think it was the first time.
That was a year ago, January.
Yeah. Well, one of the first times I went, I think it was the first time she came down there with us. She had another incident prior to, and she may not remember that, but I can't remember if it was the same thing where she had kind of a feeling of uneasiness, and I remember it spooked her a couple of times, and then it did again, even worse the last time. One of the last times we were down there with her, or you guys were. I may not even been on that trip. I can't remember.
No, I mean, I never have anything happen down there.
No. You had the incident with the dowsing rods and
Well, yeah, last
and
time
the,
with
and
you, yeah.
the spirit
yeah,
box and everything
yeah.
else, where we were getting clear-cut answers.
But I've never seen anything.
Oh.
I've never seen anything, never heard anything down there. But equipment-wise, yes. That has from the portal to the spirit box to the dowsing rods, all that worked down there, and we get voices and all that stuff. But no,
Yeah.
I wasn't with her on that.
Yeah, Erin just said she was touched the first time, and I kind of remember that. It kind of spooked her. Yeah, because she's been going with us, I think, the very first time we were there, I want to say.
Yeah.
First or second time for sure. And, yeah, and she had the incident in the basement where... and it makes sense, because if he did the same thing to Renee, he pulled on her, her hoodie, and he's kind of a prankster, and kind of likes to... I don't think he means harm, but he kind of... It does spook you if you're not used to it, something grabbing you, touching you, and kind of weird. And it's like, oh, wait.
Right.
When you can't see anything, it's pretty dark, down that, especially that part of the area. It gets really dark close to the elevator, in that vicinity, which is where Carl had his tools moved around and things of that nature. Now, I've told about this on the previous podcast, and I know Carl called in and talked about it with us that one time. But yeah, there's the incident of the guy the workman, the electrician or whatever he was. We'll just call him electrician for this conversation, where he went down in the basement and Carl showed him where to go, and he's working on. It's a couple of machines down there, and basically got spooked by something, and he would never tell Carl what happened, and he would never talk about it with anybody. And last time we talked to Carl on the phone, he said, yeah, the guy moved away. Not because of this incident, but he moved away. So, yeah, the chances of ever hearing what he encountered down there
Right.
is probably slim to none, unless the guy hears through word of mouth we want to know, and he never wants to reach out, but I can't picture that. Because it's been, quite a few years ago.
But then you've had what was it, the very first time there? You had a moment upstairs, being.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once again, when you do these type of investigations, you get what you ask for. So, the rumor was that up on the very, very, very top, and Renee was there with me too, and she was having even Nicole was with us, and she had some uneasiness up there and felt kind of nauseous. Especially by the staircase. There's some high EMF spikes right there. We can never figure out why.
Yeah.
I attribute it to be on the second real floor. There's lights underneath us that run, in the train area.
Yeah.
The big lights, maybe we're getting high EMFs off of that. Who knows? But nonetheless, it's like we get high spikes in that corner, and it kind of makes you nauseous and feel weird. But in the beginning, that's where we had some high activity. Well, we went upstairs to the very, very top, and it used to be the old conductor quarters, where only the conductors could go up there. The kind of the high elites could go up there, and if you were of certain color, you know, of elk, poor, whatever you want to call it, you weren't supposed to be up there. So I went up there, you know, and keeping that in mind, it was back when it used to be unfinished. I went up there and was kind of taunting a little bit and just saying, hey, you know, I'm Hispanic, you know, I'm Mexican. You can kick me out of here. I'm not supposed to be up here. Come do something kind of to me. And I could feel my back getting kind of hot, you know, in the area. And it's cold up there because it's nothing up there. You know, lights, nothing. Well, there's lights up there, I guess. But and then all of a sudden I could hear something say, get out, and then something shoved me from behind, basically, get out of my room, basically, kind of a thing. Didn't scare me or anything. It's just like, oh, shit, I got what I asked for, you know, kind of a thing. And I remember Renee talking about feeling dizzy up there, kind of, because just in certain spots in the very, very top, you feel a little uneasy and dizzy. And
Just kind of feels like you're on a boat, you know, rocking back and forth with the water. But also, I remember, you know, when the incident happened to you, that I got the EMF meter and put it up to you, and remember that the temperature was raising and it was dropping, and
yeah,
you know, just kind of fluctuating, which is
the
pretty
millimeter.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cindy had mentioned that last time we were down there, as during the Dodge City Days, for the event, somebody had Carl's granddaughter with him, and she had a feeling of getting petted on the hair or something like that. Do you remember who was it? You, Renee, with her, or was it?
She was on my team, and Renee. So
okay.
Back in the area where the where Squidward used to be,
Uh-huh.
back on that far side where the Christmas decorations
Sure,
are.
sure.
Right.
Underneath the stage, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes.
It was back in that area.
Yeah.
Which that
Yeah.
that had changed a lot too, because I remember Mike and Aaron were talking about they were getting kind of some weird, I don't know what it was, like
A shadow it was filling up the room.
the
in
black. It was
back
blacker
corner,
than
yes,
black. Yeah.
Yes.
They were getting some kind of weird sensation down there, and it was a lot of uneasiness, and just it had changed a little darker, but not ominous, but just a little different. And yeah, I don't know if it's the same character down there, you know, characters down there doing this, or if it's something new, or, you know, hard to say. Thing is, we talked about this off camera too, and maybe on the show, where we wonder how much of it, because all of us have been in, well, everybody, even the guests, have been in so many locations and done so many things, and how many people have attachments to them, you know, whether it be good or bad, or that we're bringing some of that stuff with us on locations. And, you know, not that they're staying there behind once we leave, but, you know, they come with us. But it makes you wonder if that's some of the stuff we experience, maybe. I think that was when we were talking about the last week with the what were we calling it? The persuasion, or whatever it's called. What would you call it, Jason? I don't remember what it's called. Say it. Don't stare at me. The thought.
Power of suggestion.
There you go.
Our suggestion, yeah.
We didn't know if that was during the conversation we were having last week, but some of that stuff could be related to that, or maybe it's been there this whole time. We just have never encountered it until that time, or they encountered it, should I say?
Well, and it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's interesting how a lot of times, like during the day, not many people have many occurrences of anything, you know. But I mean, they may not.
Well,
here
I
and
just
there.
wonder, since it's so bright out and you know,
Right.
light out, it's like, oh, everything seems different. Once it gets darker, you know, you think the worst, kind of a thing.
But yeah, you think the worst. So when it's nighttime and you're in a big building and it's quiet and it's dark, does your mind just go into that form of thinking?
Right.
So are you just going to like be more prevalent to like seeing something or something like that, or thinking you're seeing something or whatever?
Yeah, definitely understand that. What else you got, Nate? Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that Erin, she had her and Carl both had the experience where they saw Walter's actual face.
Mm-hmm.
That he was kind of, you know, that same area where he's walking between the fridge and, you know, that ductwork. I guess he had just stopped and he was staring at the group, and they said he looked pretty angry. Carl was trying to get me to, you know, look up there, but after Erin freaked out, I mean, she kind of like, oh my God, you know, she was shocked. She wasn't expecting to see his face looking at her. I kind of freaked out, and I was like, no, I think I'm good, because I didn't know what was going on. I was expecting to see something just like right there, just staring at me, you know, face to face.
Right.
I wasn't prepared for that, but No, just the basement down there. It's pretty neat, pretty interesting, and it seems like the more we go down there, the more times we go down there, it's like, they're more playful with us and they're getting, familiar with us. So they're just kind of like letting themselves be known.
Yeah, definitely.
But other than that, that'd probably be one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Dot City's been fun. Like I said, we've done so many different places down there, and even Boot Hill was cool. I mean, just because of the whole. I mean, I had so much success. The least likely place I thought I would up on the hill with the the Indian Center with all the REM pod, questions. Like it would answer us about what type of Indian it was and like tribe it was, and just the responses. And
I'm glad I got to go in. We walked in just in time for you to start asking those questions.
yeah.
'Cause you guys were having things happening in there while we were standing outside, just kind of wandering around out in the outdoors and not having anything happen.
I remember the holy shit moment I had when I came around the corner and there was a light on towards the end of the hallway. I was just want to see what was back there. And I remember Lynn told me, it's just a closet. So I come around the corner and look in there and about shit myself because there's a freaking mannequin there. I'm like, holy mother of God. Just staring right at me. It's just like, and she just laughs. I was like, oh my God. You look like a person standing there. I'm like, you never know what you're going to encounter in some place.
Because that museum part, they have mannequins all over the place.
Well, I mean, the ones you expect out there on the floor, but this is in the closet where you don't expect anything but, a closet, which cause I could kind of see what was in there. It was like, buckets and stuff, things that they use to clean up the place and whatnot.
What are you doing going in the closet?
Right.
Checking the mannequin. Yeah.
It's where I belong. I'm not ready to come out yet. And but anyways, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all right. No, but yeah, it's. Sorry, I was trying to think what it was. Trying to read everybody's questions. Carl. I'm laughing at Carl. He says, I'm deaf and you guys make me jump too. I mean, on something that happened in the incident.
That was when Erin had seen that face, and
oh, gotcha.
she was just like, oh my God, and made me jump and then made Carl jump.
So it's not just me. I get scared by mannequins and she gets scared by whatever it was. Yeah. See, so it happens. It happens to the best of us. Some of us fall through ceilings. Some of us, whatever.
Oh, I fell over.
We need a blooper reel.
No, we don't.
No.
Yes, we do.
I got the battle wound still from that shit, and it wasn't fun.
Oh, I fell over.
Chair,
scared to death. I fell over a chair too. But I fell over, there at Glore Psychiatric Hospital.
Oh, right.
When I
By the
saw
mannequins?
that mannequin dressed in a nursing outfit staring at me
Yeah.
as I'm running down the hallway. Oh, I crashed. I jumped. I think if I could have climbed the wall, I could have. That startled me so much. I totally forgot she was standing there.
See, so mannequins scare you too.
Oh yeah. But that was like my second time ever investigating anywhere, and so it made me jump.
Yeah.
But
no, I get it.
just that's the problem with museums and stuff like that. It's like where they have props and stuff of it.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when there is stuff like that, mannequins, dolls, I'm always getting them trying to move, and people like Renee and Aaron, or even Claire for that matter, was like, shut up, if that thing moves, I'm kicking your ass. I'm like, well, this is why we do this.
Yeah,
I want this shit to
exactly.
move, I want the action. My favorite one is one of them is in Oberlin with the the Raggedy Ann dolls. That, of course, if anybody knows the whole Conjuring story or Annabelle story, excuse me, Annabelle was really in real life was a Raggedy Ann doll,
Right.
and not the porcelain freaky Hollywood scary looking one. Well, not scary, but they have to.
It was kind of scary looking.
Pretty scary looking. Yeah.
I like it. I like the way it looks. I like that much better than just a Raggedy Ann doll moving, but.
Right.
Yeah, no, but I always get those things to try to move, and I always tell that story. I was like, anybody know about Annabelle? And they're like, well, yeah, we know the movie. I'm like, well, what it really is a Raggedy Ann doll. I'm like, really? I'm like, it's like this one over here, and I start pointing them out, of course, and
Well, they've got
Move!
They've got 7 of them.
they got a couple of them inside the actual main museum, and they got that and the annex, first annex, second annex, whatever it's called.
The second annex.
Yeah. They have that whole doll display out there. That's the first thing I hit on. Is like, come on, move, dolls, move. You
There's
know.
like 5 of them on the bottom right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they move, I hope they come after you first, so that way I have time to run and get out of there.
I just want to see like a head turn, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Just
Something.
to turn and look at you.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Chucky or something. I don't know. Just do something for me.
Right.
Get a friend for me.
Chucky's got a knife. I don't want Chucky to turn.
Hey,
his
it's all
head.
right. But which Chucky is based upon Annabelle. Loosely the story is.
I can see that.
I mean, that's what I've heard. I mean, I'm not a writer or anything, of course, but no kidding. But that's what I've heard. That's based upon kind of a thing where a serial killer.
Got the idea of it.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, no, Annabelle was. I mean, that's what I would like to see a doll. I mean, even physically move. You turn away, it's over here in one corner, and you look back and it's moved to the other side of the room or some shit, and you're like, oh my god, what just happened?
I don't know how I'd do because the Annabelle story itself, like the real story,
Right.
they turned around and saw her actually standing
Right.
in the middle of the room looking at him.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Nope.
what do you do? I mean,
You run up and kick the bastard.
I know. I was just gonna
Whoa.
say you just run up and punt that thing right across the room.
And then it
It's
slits your
fabric,
throat. But
yeah,
hey.
I mean, yeah, kick it once, I guess. Run.
Hopefully the window's open, and kick it right out the window.
Till you knock on the door, and you're like, oh shit, I ain't answering the door.
Can't go
Yeah, but
outside
it would
again.
sound like-
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not a solid knock. I mean, that
Yeah.
thing, it's a clock.
Well, the thing was, the girl that owned it was given it as a gift as a child, wasn't she?
Right.
And then she would go out, and I think she wasn't a nurse, was there? I don't know. She was.
Yeah,
she
I
would
read where she was a nurse.
She would leave and come back home, and it'd be moving, like it'd be moved from. She'd have it on a chair, it'd be on the bed or some shit like that, or
It was changing positions that she noticed that it wasn't how she left it.
right,
Like
right.
the legs were crossing, their arms were moving,
Uh-huh.
and then it was like on the ground to a chair, to the floor, facing down to where they turn around and it's standing there.
Right.
Like it was just slowly coming to life.
Well, and we kind of have a story, Renee and I do, and she may not remember this because I know my older sister Crystal does, but when we were little, our cousin, who's Renee's age also, they were little kids. I'm talking like
Very young.
under 5 maybe. And my grandma had a doll, and I think it was one of her daughter's dolls, older at the time, but
It was
had
your doll. Don't-
Okay, it's fine. I call it action figure, not doll. Anyways,
Okay.
but no, it had it in his back bedroom, and you had to go past this to go to the restroom. She had one restroom that was clear in the back of the house, and it's an older house. And my younger cousin went back there, and every time he walked back there, he would just stare at the doll and kind of make eye contact with it, and kind of watch the whole way to the bathroom. Well, when he came out one time, he was staring at it, and all of a sudden the hand just went down, like dropped, and he screamed "Grandma!" and then came running out of the room. It's probably coincidental vibration, or was it? But the fact that happened, it's just like holy shit. Yeah. It was creepy back there, in that room, but with the dolls and shit. But I never had any problem with it.
There's history of haunted dolls,
I don't know. I used to turn it around and have it face the wall when I would go back there.
I forgot. My sister remembered the name. She said it's called Peggy the doll, which
Ah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Peggy the doll.
Yep. So yeah, I forgot. They were pointing out on the chat here. Lena has said she thought the name of the person downstairs, or maybe the darker thing, was called John. Maybe the name.
Yeah, they're thinking it may be a third,
Where at?
entity or something down there. I
down
don't know.
underneath the stairs in the basement somewhere is of somebody named John.
By the decorations where we had that dark mask.
Were you went back there with that group? You guys had you had half the group over there, and I had half the group towards the
Yeah.
ductwork, and you were having some issues. Not issues, but some. You said nothing too crazy, but you had some
We
shadows maybe or something.
had some shadows that were around the group, and as we were, I was using the portal, just trying to get some answers and stuff, and it was coming out clear that the person was, passing through, wasn't actually part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's around while we were asking questions. One of the girls in front of me, she had her arm just grabbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she thought there was one of her friends next to her, and I clicked the flashlight, and she was standing there alone.
That's awesome.
And she freaked out a little bit on that one. She, the whole group actually did, because the look, she was legit in her reaction of being frightened
Right.
by that.
Wow.
So that's when I cut it and was like, okay, let's go meet up with, let's go find Leo and the rest of them,
Right, and I think we flip flopped at that point and I tried to get stuff to stir up, and I was taunting a little bit, not in a negative way, just trying to get something, being more forceful. I shouldn't say taunting, just more direct. Like, and I always ask the group I'm with, like, how do you want me to approach this? I don't want anybody to get hurt, number one, on a public investigation especially, but I want to make sure that nothing negative happens or, something crazy, and then I'm liable or the buildings are liable, which
not like
they're
Nest
not.
City, right?
The what?
Not like Nest City, right?
Yeah.
When we tell everybody at the beginning of every investigation, nothing is here that's going to hurt you.
Well, you don't want to say, hey, nothing's going to hurt you or harm you, but it could happen, kind of a thing, and then
Could happen.
No, but
Anything's possible.
But that one threw me for a loop. I'm glad I got to witness that. I wish I would have had it on camera, because that's crazy what happened down in that city with the group of kids that got shoved in front of me. I mean, I was just meeting down in the basement, the bank building in Nest City, where we're just talking, and we're doing some spirit box sessions, and we talked about this before, so I apologize if we regurgitate some of the same storylines, but we're just talking, and having a good time in the basement, and they were young high school kids, and they were genuinely freaked out, which is
Well, they had their names called out.
well, yeah, which I love when they're freaked out, because it's like I asked, how much can I taunt or whatever, how much can I do to get things? And they were like, I always say, do you guys want to see something happen? Like, of course, yeah, but then they really don't. But thing with the spirit box, they each had a unique name. Summer, and I can't remember the guy's name. It was something unique, like, I don't know. Anyways, but her name was Summer, and I said, say my name, say one of our names, through the spirit box. And then Summer came through. I was like, okay, it was Summer at the time, so I'm like, it could be a radio station, possibly Bleed Art. But then when it said the boy's name, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And they both got freaked out. Well, as we were leaving to go upstairs after the rotation, we're going through this hallway, and the light's on, and it's like regular hall light. And I see, which I think is Rose's son Cody was with us, because he was in my group, but he was upstairs on the main level with the other half of the people. And I thought I heard someone go boo and jump out, at us. And the girl and the guy were in front, Summer and the other guys in front, and they both get shoved, and they both get scratched on the same arm in the same manner. And I was like, God dang it, Cody, you can't be doing that on a public investigation. Even as funny as it is. And I look up and Cody's not there, and then everybody hears screams, because it wasn't me, it was the girls and the guys screaming. But anyways, I was like, well, I can go in front of you guys, whatever, lead you back up to the front. And they're like, no, we don't want to. The guy of all things was like, can you get somebody to come down and get us? So I radio up. Jason's giving me number one. Weston, that's right. I knew it was a different type of name.
Summer and Weston.
They had their names called through the spirit box. But anyways, they both get scratched on the same arm, 3 scratches, which everybody thinks demonic, which not. It's just,
Right.
It is what it is sometimes. And it is a mocking the Trinity, but not in this case. So anyways, I have to radio upstairs, and I hear Cody come through and Jason, and like, what? And then Cody opens the doors from upstairs and comes walking down the staircase around the corner. I'm like, holy shit, that wasn't Cody. Well, anyways, we go up to the main level, and they're visibly shaken, and they actually end up leaving the public investigation at that point. And I find out later on in the evening, somebody tells me, I was thinking about what happened in the basement and everything, and they tell me that used to be a haunted house. Locals would put on a haunted house in the basement every year, and I'm thinking, holy shit, somebody jumps out and says boo to us. Maybe they're reenacting the whole haunted house thing, and maybe I saw what I think I saw. It is in full color, so I'm like, holy crap. I've listened to that recording, and it's pretty freaky, man. The kids you can hear it plain as day and everything, but unfortunately there's no video of it, because my GoPro had died right before then, and I just had my audio recorder. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so shit does happen if you ask for it, so you never know what you're going to get. Sorry, I was looking at some of the comments down below. What else you got for us, Renee?
As far as Dodge City, or just any type of experience, or
Yeah, it could be anywhere. Like I said, one of the viewers asked about our experiences in Dodge City. That's because she's from Dodge City too. That's why she's asking.
Yeah, she's pretty interested and curious to hear about some stuff. Just, anything from the old Dodge Theater where, in the basement when we had those footprints, and I believe it was Jeremiah that had the millimeter at that time, and he was kind of, in another corner, and that's when the millimeter spiked up as well, and it was like an unusual number, and then we would hear the
That's right.
like, yeah, we'd hear the wet footprints or whatever, the water, you'd hear it like splash, like it's running away, which was pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But I mean, I could go on for days, and I won't though.
Why not? We have a whole show still. Keep talking.
Oh man!
I'm just kidding.
I know the Carnegie was an interesting place each time we've ever been there.
Right.
It's not a huge location, so we always have to be aware of bleeding in and contaminating ourselves the entire time. But
Yeah.
that place having the what looked like children moving about downstairs in the basement.
The Carnegie.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I know
because you saw that.
and heard that.
Yeah.
I remember it was Paul and myself and the late Larry were down there, and we were all asking questions of public investigation and whatnot. And for some reason, only Paul and I heard this, and we were sitting kind of as far as back as you can get into that place and by these tables, and I had a sneaky suspicion that this child was underneath the table, and I kept looking underneath the table, and you can hear. I told the guest who was holding the millimeter to put your millimeter down below on the table, because that's where she's at, and she did it, and things started spiking up. She's like, "Oh my God," freaking out, And, but Paul and I could hear the little girl talking and whatnot, and nobody else could hear it. I'm like, "You guys can't hear that?" And Paul was like, "I can actually hear that," because Paula at the time was still kind of green, and she was disappointed she couldn't hear half some of the stuff she couldn't hear.
Well,
but
she was very skeptic of everything.
exactly,
Very
yeah,
skeptic.
which made it even more genuine that she could hear it. It's like, this is awesome. You're hearing what I'm hearing. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Just the child down there. Which I remember my mom telling me that used to be the library down there, the children's library section, especially. It was down in the basement because she was remember as a child going down there, and thought that was interesting. That well, the first time we were out there ever, which would have been my second investigation with the team ever, back in 2011, I think it was. You always say 2010, but I think it's 2011. Anyways, just giving Jason shit basically.
I swear it was just a year after I started.
But one of the EVPs I caught on there was somebody going shh, like a librarian,
Right.
which was,
geez.
it's like, well, that makes sense.
Right.
Former library, So, yeah, no, I mean, Carnegie's awesome. We've had, especially up in the rotunda, we had the footsteps, and I'm glad Summer was with us at the time because she was watching it as the geophone was going off and seeing what we were seeing, the shadows and shit. And she's like, she could feel the vibration of something walking on the floor, and we're all sitting still and nobody's moving. And she got to witness it firsthand, which was fun. And then that's when I heard the bathroom door open. Remember, in the basement when nobody's downstairs.
Right.
We're up on the main level, and I heard the men's bathroom makes a squeaking noise, a distinct noise. In the bathrooms in the basement, the Carnegie, and there was nobody down there. We just got up from a rotation, and we were all upstairs, and it was nobody down there. Possibly, it was on a private investigation at the time, and it was just Jason, myself, Ben. I want to say the only men that were there that night, and we were all on the main level.
Yeah.
And I should remember, was Brendan with us? I can't remember, but
I don't think he's.
I feel like he might have
Been
been,
there.
but I can't remember. But yeah, no, it wasn't any of us. And the girls were all up there. Claire and Renee were behind the desk with Summer talking about whatever else, and yeah, so
And then the sound of all a stack of papers being shoved over.
right,
Oh.
right. Oh goodness.
Yeah, Claire and I were actually sitting. You guys were in a rotation, and Claire and I had, the main floor, and we're sitting there behind the desk talking, and it just sounded like somebody, fumbling with the stack of papers, and it was, a good distance away from us, so it wasn't us. We just kind of stopped and looked at each other like, what the hell? It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that was a claim that I remember Summer was even, saying that she would hear, papers rattling, and you guys actually heard it, but it didn't get caught on any kind of recorder or cameras,
Right.
which we had cameras set up that way, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The place was pretty cool when we first went there.
And over at the depot, I know just last year, doing one of our events, Paula and I were doing one last round of checks to make sure everything was set up. And I think she was the only female in there. I think Renee had already left. So Paul and I are up up by the staircase where the little girls, and we're walking down the other part of it where all the dressing rooms are and everything. We're coming through, and as we're passing the rooms, you could hear a whole conversation going on between what sounds like two women behind the doors. I mean, it was loud.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I'm thinking, okay, who's here? Because there really shouldn't be anybody here.
Yeah.
It's only us. So we turn around, we walk in, and nobody's there.
Wow. That hallway, I think you were close to where you were talking about. I remember one of the first times with Aaron, we had that. Remember we used to set up the laser pins a long time ago before we started using different types of lasers. Yeah. We had the red ones shooting down the long hallway by the dressing rooms and all that stuff. But we were close to this back when the stairs were open more. We're not where that bathroom is now, kind of that new bathroom that's underneath the staircase. But it's back when you could see above you. But we were sitting there staring down the hallway at something moving up and down the hallway towards us and breaking those red beams. And I just remember that. I mean, the place has changed so much back from what it used to be. It's like the activity was different areas, different places. I mean, we saw a lot of shadow moving down that way, especially. And it's become more hot spot down that way, especially towards the more you get closer to the stage area.
That hallway there, you could stand by the staircase looking down, and you can, and not just myself or you guys, guests have seen this too, where it looks like somebody is down at the other end of the hallway, peeking around the corners, and then even moving room from room.
Yeah.
And dodging back and forth.
It reminds me of if you ever seen, like, I don't know, we'll say Scooby-Doo, where they always run from the thing, and they go to one door and it comes out the other door. That's what it reminds me of. It bounces back and forth. And the couple on one of the about halfway down there, you can see a physical light because it's the security light that goes down one of the back staircases. You can always see shadows, like feet moving from that area. So much that we saw, who was it? It was a ghost. It was a guest and I. Sorry, not ghost. Well, it was a ghost. No, but a guest and I and a bunch of us were sitting on the hallway where you had a group of people in the actual dressing rooms.
Right.
And we witnessed this thing come out of that area. We had the green laser grids going on. It was during the last time we were down there. We watched this thing walk out of the door, and I didn't see anything at first. I'm like, are my eyes playing tricks on me? What am I looking at? And then. And it kept moving. I'm like, so finally I spoke up and said, "Anybody see that?" And they're like, "Oh, I see that." They were freaking out because they saw what I saw.
In the dressing room.
Yeah, nobody. It wasn't one of the guests. It wasn't you guys.
So we were in the room.
Yeah, but it was one of the rooms.
We didn't come out.
No, nobody was there.
Because I had the door closed, and I think I take people in there to do like dowsing rods and stuff like that, just to see if they catch anything. And we were getting answers in there, and then all of a sudden, like it just died off. Yeah.
Like they left.
They left.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's about as close to. Well, I've seen an apparition full in daylight, but at that place, that's about as close I've seen an actual apparition coming the way that did. It was weird. I mean, if I wouldn't have believed it with my own eyes, the thing was really awesome. The hallway was lit up because they had the green laser grid going on that whole area, and you could see everything. And it's just like, what the hell are we looking at? Mike just mentioned us. I forgot about this part. That same investigation for the public one, they were up in that same area of the dressing rooms. The intercom system came on, remember? They were hearing voices coming through there.
Well, that's right. That's right.
The intercom system doesn't even work, to my knowledge. Carl may correct me on that, but if I remember him saying that, they don't even work. And they could hear conversations coming through that, which was kind of interesting. And that's crazy. I mean...
If they don't work, then
well, yeah, because they used to use them to radio back and forth between,
right,
for the show. I don't know if it's for the show or what it was for, but yeah, that's crazy, man. That place is awesome. I can't wait to go back, which it's coming up pretty 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Be back down there and doing things and craziness. Yeah, no, Dodge City has been fantastic for us. It's like you say, it feels like home, which it is home to me, but it's. I mean, we've been to a couple just the main places down there, and they produce for us every time we've gone someplace. I've never been disappointed. Even when we thought nothing was going on, we've had quite a bit of activity, on recorders and shit, so it's awesome. Very cool. Yes, sir, and ma'am. Sorry. But, I don't know what else. What else you got, Nay? Anything, or anybody got anything for Renee?
I mean,
What?
not so much as Dodge City, but like Fort Dodge. I mean, which is
Hey.
right there by Dodge City. That place was awesome. The Old Soldiers Hospital, and I mean, Jason and Dan, we've had some pretty good experiences there as well. I even had something, and Jason can vouch for this.
Nope.
We're walking down the hallway when everybody else is, at the opposite end of the hospital, and something calls out my name. I mean, it whispers my name, and I'm like, look at Jason, and I said, did that just say my name? And he's like, I think so.
Was it Rose, or was it Dan on the walkie-talkie again?
It could have been.
It could have
Could've
been,
Rose.
it could have been.
I'm kidding. That's cool. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Fort Dodge. I didn't get to go, so I don't want to hear it. No, I'm
Hey,
kidding.
again, that's not.
I'm busy, man. I'm sorry. Carl just chimed in on about the walkie-talkies, about the intercom system. He says they are on all the time, but only work when the soundboard's turned on. That's what it is.
Oh.
But the soundboard is never on because, or let me rephrase that, we don't have access to that room because,
Right.
especially with a
Locked.
public investigation going on, it's highly
We
expensive
don't
equipment. We
take
don't.
anybody in there.
That room is locked and nobody's in there, so nobody's supposed to be in there. But you know what? Maybe it's the Phantom. I'm just kidding. I'm thinking Scooby-Doo. Sorry. And you pull his mask off, and would have got away with it.
It's
If
the
it wasn't
Whistler
for
from
you.
the stage,
Yeah. Well, it could be the shadow persons we see up there. We
Yeah.
see them all the time up
All
on
the time
top,
in that room, yeah.
Yep.
up on especially in the catwalks, and I mean, it's not just us that see them. The guests see them a lot of times. We always put grids up there for that reason, and it's crazy. Yeah, and the Whistler, like you said.
And the
That-
flashlights, we put, the flashlights
right.
up there as well too, and we
That's
get
right.
responses.
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely activity up there. Just never know if it's a kid or who knows at this point. But yeah, I'll never go up on those catwalks. We're not supposed to anyways, because you could. It's a liability once again. Which one time we were up there, and I wasn't there. Jason was up there with Rose, and he almost fell to his death, basically.
Yeah. Had it not stopped him, he would have fell right off the
Yeah.
catwalk. So.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'll steer clear of those anytime.
Well,
So-
he was following a noise, is what
Right.
he was doing, and he didn't realize he was coming to the edge of it to the end, and he would have dropped like 20, 30 feet. I don't know how tall that is, but yeah,
Yeah.
in
I
the
mean,
dark, that it would have been bad. So he was probably about a foot away from stepping off.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So again, that's we have to. That's just us not being as cautious as we should.
I mean, you always got to be
Tom.
cautious of your surroundings, especially in
Yeah.
that area up there, because it's all painted black, because it's
Oh,
supposed to
yeah.
be hidden from, especially during a show. They want it not, sight unseen, kind of, so you can't see people up there walking around or moving lights or whatever.
Right.
So you got to be careful. But yeah, I thought it was all, boxed in. I didn't realize there was a part of it's exposed, as far as
Right.
Yeah, that's
Well,
crazy.
and like last night, the whole time I was climbing up the ladders to go to the catwalk, I think it was 3 or 4 different ladders that we climbed up to get to the very tip top of the
Mhm.
building last night in McPherson, and it was nerve wracking just to get up there. Once we got up there, I'm like, why am I here?
I wouldn't have been up there. I would take your word for it.
They're steep. They were steep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't doing it.
Yeah. And the thing is, and there was more ladders to even go up into the attic, and I was so tempted. I'm like, I just want to keep going.
Dude, that's what
The-
got
the-
me in trouble with the Candle Club, when I fell
Yeah.
almost 20 feet. Yeah, you just like, oh, do it, and then saying, why the hell am I up here?
And I don't even know what was up there, or what could be up there, or
Right.
anything. But
I mean,
I decided against it.
It
so.
happened to me also at the old firehouse in Dodge, which is now the distillery. They told us to stay away from a certain area with the black mold, and
Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up in that part. I'm just like, something was drawing me there, and it's just like I kept walking in circles or down these stairs, and I was by myself, and next thing I know, I look like, oh shit, look up and there's black mold everywhere. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be down here.
Nope.
It's like I just
Yeah.
you zone out sometimes or whatever, and it's like mesmerizing or whatever, and next thing you know, you're in
Well, that's another.
a bad situation.
That was another very beautiful old place that
Yeah.
now it's even better now that they've renovated it and
Yeah.
changed it. and
Added
now-
liquor.
added liquor
Liquor.
to it,
Right.
Liquor makes it all better.
I
But,
still haven't been there. I need to go check it out. That's one place I haven't been.
Wow.
This-
Maybe
Distillery.
if we can.
Nope.
Maybe All right.
We gotta go check it out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Well.
But
Wait, you don't want to be spotted in there drinking something?
no, it's not that. It's just time crunch for me.
Oh, I know.
I'll have to head out maybe later on in the evening to get out there. So to get to the event, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But no, yeah, I mean Dodge City's awesome. I mean we've caught gunshots, which sometimes you wonder if it's real life. But at the Carnegie Art Center, we did capture a gunshot that was inside the building, which I mean who knows what it's from. It could have been, outside. It could have been something that was there years ago. It could have been, who knows.
Well,
But
some of the board that listened to it, they said it sounded to them like an old 6-shooter.
that's exactly what I thought. When I
Yeah.
first heard it, I thought the Old West immediately. It's just like, because it's not your typical, I mean, it doesn't sound like anything modern. I mean, it sounds like a gun, a 6-shooter. Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy. Yep. But when we did capture, I want to say we captured one similar to that inside the Santa Fe Depot on the second floor. I feel like that
You
I
did.
caught another one
You did.
similar.
We did.
Yeah. Which I remember Carl saying, and it plays a part, but it doesn't really fit this criteria in a degree. But I remember him saying that they used to use it as an old, kind of like a makeshift hospital on that floor.
Right.
They'd bring bodies, people that were
Under
injured.
the tunnel. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underneath the street.
That's right.
So, I mean, it makes you wonder if we were, something was getting reenacted or whatever,
There are so many gunfights that happen there, so
Right.
it's bound to have some kind of past stamp to it, to where you're gonna hear that.
Residual. Yep.
Residual, thank you.
Mike said the distillery has better spirits. But I'm bump.
It
That kind of a
does.
thing.
It does.
No. That's
really
awesome. Yeah. Oh shit.
If
Bring
I
yourself
had to
over here.
pick which spirits to go to, that'd be the
I'm
best
sure you
one.
would.
Yeah,
Yep, but Carl said you're kidding yourself if you think that's the first whiskey in that building. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say. Used to be the old fire station too at one point, City Hall and all that stuff.
station
Yeah.
and all that, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember that was the investigation after the investigation where we had a
Yeah.
public event that night at the depot. No, Carnegie. Was it Carnegie?
No,
Depot.
It was
Depot.
at the depot.
Depot.
Yeah, and then there's just like an added bonus. Anybody, the remaining people,
Yeah.
get to go over to what is now the distillery in Dodge City, or Bowie Hill Distillery, excuse me. But it used to be this old fire station, and we got to go in there and roam around. And
Yeah.
remember that. Speaking of volunteer death, there's that one door that you open, and you look below, and that's where the fire trucks used to be. Remember?
Yeah.
It's a door out of nowhere, basically. It's just like holy shit. Can fall to my death again. Here we go.
My dad and I, we were in there
Mhm.
before you guys ever got a chance to go
Right.
in, and we tried forever, because when we were in there, where the fire trucks used to be,
Mm-hmm.
we were looking up and we saw this door that's just up there,
Yeah.
and we were trying forever that night to try and figure out where the hell that door was.
Where it led to, or
Yeah,
where it had
or
to
where?
come to,
How do
or-
how do we find that door?
Yeah.
So we were everywhere
Yeah.
in there,
Because
which
that
was fun.
Well, and it's pretty close to an area where I think the rumor is that. The hell was that? Is that you, Nay?
Sorry.
Oh,
that
okay.
would be my son.
No,
Okay.
I just heard it coming through the. You never know, because in the studio here we get weird sounds and noises and voices, and
Lights.
we saw a couple weeks ago we had the orb that was on camera that was by Roth, and but anyways we couldn't tell.
Both
if it
is
was
an
the-
orb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rocky Roth.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, I just remember that was the area that. Was there a death inside that building? A firefighter passed away in there, or maybe he had passed away and they'd spent a lot of time there, so they didn't know if he was the one haunting the place, kind of a thing. And I mean, it was close to that area where the door is, the door that we're talking about out of nowhere, and also too the fact that I thought it was cool when you first walk in up the stairs and you go up to the left, that long hallway. There's like 3 or 4 actual jail cells right there. They used to have against that wall, which I never knew were there. Yeah. Not that I've ever wanted to be in there, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
It's cool that I don't know what they used it for. Obviously, if it was City Hall, I guess, or a city office, maybe they used it back in the days. Who knows? But the city office, Renee, it was more recent, wasn't it?
The city office where? Sorry.
What?
She's not even paying attention.
Pay attention. What kind of guest are you?
I know. I'm
And
horrible.
click. Oh, we lost Renee. Must have been a bad connection.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about the old distillery, which is the distillery now. When you came, it used to be there's was it city offices at some point?
They used to put city files down in the or not in the basement, in some area there.
Oh.
They used to use it for that. It wasn't a city office, but
I was thinking it used to be like I don't know.
Like Chamber of Commerce or something.
Uh,
I don't think it was.
I was trying to
but-
think of what the word I'm looking for. It was something like government building where they use like city. I don't know. I can't think what
What are
they.
you trying to say?
I have no clue. Well, kind of like now at the depot, they use that one wing for
Yeah.
all the city offices, kind of
Right.
that thing.
Right.
You know.
right.
I thought it used to be that type of thing in
Gotcha.
that building, but maybe I'm wrong.
Carl said it used to house the Chamber of Commerce. and
Oh,
that.
it was Chamber of Commerce. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was something like that, but I didn't understand what those jail cells were. There's 3 of them, I think, if I remember right, on that one hallway, and I didn't know what they were used for or from how long ago and whatnot. I mean, because the last I knew it's always been it'd been a firehouse basically, fire department, but I don't know what the jail cells would be for. So, but I'm trying to remember
That
if they
would be
were.
where they housed Carl when he was
when he
being up to no
when he got
good.
out of hand, they throw Carl up there.
When he was
Yeah,
terrorizing
Mr.
them.
Carl was he was fire department. What the heck, Carl? You should know all the story.
Well, he's telling you the story. It's right there.
I know, I'm reading. He said City Hall back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Oh, it was also the main police station, he said, too. So,
Oh.
Oh, I see.
okay, so that's what the jail cells were there for. But,
Yeah, because it even says like police or sheriff or something like that on the up in the rock.
Yeah, on the very front.
Yeah, in the
Oh,
very
I didn't know
front.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta pay
He
attention.
even mentioned something about the old police officer. I don't know if that's the one that you were talking about that fell to his death.
The old fire chief, George.
Yes, the old
Oh.
fire chief.
Yeah.
Did he. What now? Fall to his
George,
death.
George
Where you reading that at?
Dash. No, didn't you say something about?
No.
someone
I
had
said you
died?
could fall to your death basically if you open that one door, and it's above the fire where the fire trucks were down below.
Oh, okay.
No,
but did you
there's
say
because
somebody
there's a
had
door.
passed away
Well,
there?
there was when we first went in there to investigate. There was a claim that was one of the claims that was told to us that there was somebody either who passed away in there or that was deceased that they thought maybe was haunting it. I mean, the guy was obviously passed away, but they didn't know if I can't remember if he was dead in there or they whatever. But they thought the remaining fire people thought that like the fire. Please, what am I trying to say? Goddamn, it's getting late in the evening.
We're just listening.
The other firemen, I think, were conscious of, or conscientious of him being there or something like that. They thought, or somebody told us
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
But George, as I said, it was the old fire chief George Dashner. Sorry.
Dashner, yeah.
Yeah, Carl says that's who's hanging in there is the old fire chief, George. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that night we only had like about an hour. We stayed in there or two, and we didn't really get a chance to really give it a good go through as much as I would like to. But it seemed awfully quiet that night. Plus, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, so who knows?
Well, that's another reason why I'd like for you to go up there. Not per se to.
You want me to
or
drink, that's
anything.
all.
Well, but
but
no, just so if you get a whatever feeling you get off of it.
Yeah.
You know?
get a little tipsy.
Well, and we can't even go into like
I'm
a lot of
kidding.
the different parts of the building
Right.
too, because they got it roped off and everything.
Yeah.
But,
You can use your restroom in the jail cells, though.
Seriously?
Yeah,
That's what the bathroom is?
yeah.
I didn't
A
know
couple
that.
of them are
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
up in the landing to the left now.
Yeah, that was it. Yep. Guys, there I was walking past because this is like a maze up there. You go to certain areas and then the staircases take you all over the place, and that's where I was wandering around. Next thing I know, I ended up in the back staircase with the mold down in the basement. And I'm like, oh shit, not supposed to be down here. And then all of a sudden I come upstairs and I see more people coming closer to me. I'm like, oh, we can't go this far. We're not supposed to be. It was a couple of guests, but yeah, I don't know how I ended up there. Something was just dragging me down there, but yeah, crazy stuff, man. I don't know. So,
no, a lot of things out there in Dodge.
yep, definitely. I mean, and there's more places we would like to get into. It's just hard to. I mean, it's hard. It's like Wichita here. I mean, it's hard to get in places. I mean, people are real skeptic because they don't want to be known as a haunted location, if or whatever. But I mean, it's kind of you're missing out because some places they get known for that, have extra visitors specifically for that reason.
Right.
Plus your usual commerce you have every day. So why wouldn't you want to have that? But that's just me.
I'm glad the Leavenworth up there in those spots, especially the one,
Yeah.
really is interested in having us present it now.
Yeah,
as that.
the escape room up there, which used to
Yeah.
be an old bank, and I want to get access to the second level above because they said there's 2 more levels upstairs. The above that,
Right.
it's just as it was back in the days, and that's the old part of Leavenworth. Anybody who's from that area has been telling me that, and
Mhm.
yeah, I mean the basements underneath was awesome because that's where they had these storefronts, you know,
Yeah.
for we think possibly for Prohibition and all that stuff, the speakeasy and stuff. The bathhouse down there possibly with the staircase on the wall that leads to nowhere. And there's a sink up there on the wall. I mean, they think it's a former bathhouse, so it's like, interesting.
Lovely.
Yep. So, yeah, and that's kind of where we had some weird things going on, activity-wise, with the things getting kicked to the bucket, whatever it was, and
And I think we have it all on video.
we do. Yeah.
And it's on Road Trip. Because
What
we filmed
part?
it live that night.
Oh, it's on both.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes, remember, when you go live, I go live, where you can't have.
Yeah.
Um,
When Wi-Fi doesn't want to work with me.
yeah.
or
So I take
cooperate.
over. I take over.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's like check Road Trip
Ooh.
Paranormal's Facebook page, and also check Everyday Legacy Paranormal's Facebook page. There's videos on there. We went live most of the night. Now I know my own personal page, but I transferred it over to our pages. I went accidentally live on my own page, and that's when we had the incidents down in the Biscuit, where the flashlight with the old soldier, and he was answering this on command with the flashlight and turning it off on command, and we could see the white mist walking around, and I thought it was my eyes playing tricks on me until your brother said, I see all that too,
Yeah.
and he's seeing what I'm seeing. You could see the actual footsteps and trail of this thing walking away, and it's just like, what the hell is going on here? And, I don't know if this is, I'm going to call this line, I don't know if this is the real deal or if it's robocall. Robocop calling me. Kidding. We'll see. Anyways, but no, yeah, the Biscuit was interesting, and we also went to speaking of another theater, we went to
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that theater ever for the life of me. It's something on.
The old Hollywood theaters.
Yeah, that's what it
that
is.
was like what they originally called it, but what they call it now is like a theater of arts type.
Yeah.
But they, which you missed out.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. But that's the place where they had the shadow jumping from the.
Oh, JC
From the-
Thomas is trying to give us a call.
Oh, that's who it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Renee, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for calling in this evening. We have a guy come that another viewer wants to ask some questions or
No
comment.
problem.
Thanks for calling in.
Let him talk.
Yeah. So,
Have a good one, Renee.
yeah, take care, Renee. We'll see you soon.
Thanks. Good night, guys.
All right, good night.
Bye.
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 Sorry about that. Tell him to call again if he would. Yeah, we definitely want to hear
Give us a call, JC.
JC. Yep. Sorry about that. I couldn't tell. I probably could have patched it in with both of them, but I hate to do that and break something, and we won't have the guest, either guest. But yeah, no, the theater was pretty interesting because that's one of the ones where up on top they used to have it was segregation back then, where people of color had to sit clear up in the very, very top in the back and couldn't, you
Right.
know, associate with the whites and the rich people and things. And it was interesting to be a part of that, see that history and kind of a thing, and just bizarre. I mean, to see that, and like you said, the thing jumping off they see the shadow person jumping off, or I
Right.
witnessed that, and we had some theories behind that, but weren't too. I mean, we had no proof of that. We never witnessed it. We just speculated on a couple
Right.
things, but it was, you never know.
It's a pretty far stretch, to say, but at the same time, it could have been, a reenactment of something that was pretty historical, but
Yeah. I'm waiting for JC to call back. I think he's calling back here soon, hopefully. But yeah, no, that's some of the stuff we've seen. We've been pretty fortunate. I mean, the underground tunnels in places, and I mean, hell, even here in Wichita with the Orpheum, the underground tunnels with the Speakeasy, and like I said, Dodge City, they're underground.
McPherson.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been there.
No, last night was pretty good because they
Yeah.
even had tunnels underneath the sidewalks there too.
That's what Dan was telling
Yeah.
me, yeah, and that's
It
pretty
was just too
interesting.
damn cold outside to do anything out there.
We went out there for a few minutes, but man, that's too much.
Yeah.
It just amazes me how many cities, pretty much a lot of the cities in Kansas, had all of those tunnels because for different reasons, for bootlegging to
Mhm.
well, the ones up by Leavenworth they used not where we were at so much, but closer to the river. They used it for the underground train.
Mhm.
That whole thing with the slaves and stuff like that. And
Then you got Ellenwood.
yeah, Ellenwood, which
Then
we
you got the here in Wichita. You've got the Broadview.
Yeah, they
The
have some
tunnels
underneath.
that-
Yeah,
Supposedly.
and then
Well, they used to run across underneath the Arkansas. where
Yeah.
the-
Supposedly.
that's
yeah.
that's the
Suppose-
story.
That's
is
the
that,
story.
that they went underneath theirs because on the
They don't let
Delano
anybody.
district was the red light district and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
And you wouldn't want as a whole little city over there by itself at the time, and people would go underneath it. That way they wouldn't be spotted.
And Al Capone was seen, had stayed there at the Broadview as well,
Yeah.
saying that he was down there,
Okay.
having meetings and stuff.
Hey, Jason, I'm gonna try calling you back. I got your number right here, buddy. He's having trouble calling in with his service, so let me see here. See if I can get a hold of him. Apologize, people. Enjoy that ringtone.
Your call has been forwarded to an auto.
Well, he's in some hills right now, he said, so hopefully he'll get back to us here. We got about 5 to 10 minutes left to show, so definitely want to hear what's on his mind. I apologize once again. I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't get the chance to grab it, and I get a lot of weird calls, robocalls and all that crap, so I thought maybe it was another one of those. But, yeah, so we'll be down and doing some other stuff here pretty quick here, especially with the public all over the state here again, and I know it's only January, but we already got stuff booked out April to September to, of course, October is always busy, and
What's in September?
the Bigfoot Festival
Oh,
Oh,
that's
shoot!
right.
How did I?
North
out
Carolina.
in North Carolina. Yeah, we're gonna head
Oh,
out there for
I
that.
got- We've got our shirts
Yeah.
on already tonight.
Reps.
so.
Bunch of amateurs over here. Yeah, not me, of course, them guys. But anyways, no, yeah, we're gonna go out there and do the West North Carolina Bigfoot Festival. We get to go out there and hopefully Damn, I can't
Do
talk.
a presentation.
That too. We'll do that. How was that? Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll also, get to have a panel, and we get to just a bunch of other things. I mean, we built a good bond with Allie Webb, or as Ruth likes to call her, Megan, because that's her middle name, and out of Happy Body Care. She's the one that helps. We don't have it up here tonight, but we usually do. The Bigfoot juice. That's how we started with her, and got to talk to her, and she became a good, close friend of ours, and they invited us out there. They had speaking of inaugural, they had their inaugural Bigfooting festival out there last September, and
It blew up.
had we known ahead of time, we started talking to her like a week before or two, and she's like, you guys need to really come out here, in her best southern voice, which is always sweet and polite, and it's like, next year we're coming out there for sure, and she's like, you guys got it, and so we'll be out there. That'll be fun. I can't wait.
Can't wait. I've already got the time off from work, so
Good call.
Same
I'm ready
here,
to
yeah. Yep. It'll be here before we know it. So we got that stuff going on, and we'll try to broadcast live Cryptic down there. We're gonna do a Bigfoot hunt out there while we're out there.
we're gonna go squatching.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, it's been
I'll
a while
see
since
how
I've
you
done
guys
that.
handle it.
You've seen me. I mean, we're not in Tahlequah. I mean, I've done it.
You just
Yeah.
don't like the outdoors.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm city folk.
I wonder how that. I just wonder how nature's gonna be in September out there. So.
God, I don't know. I can just
Muggy.
imagine. Yeah, muggy,
Yeah,
and
muggy.
I think it's mountainous out there. I know it is. I've
Yeah.
looked on a map already.
I
Mountainous
can't
out
wait.
that way.
I can't wait.
Appalachians is
Yeah.
that's the backside of the Appalachians. Right?
Yeah, so we'll have some fun out there and do some crazy things.
Bring
and-
the tick repellent.
God, I know. That's something I don't like is ticks and snakes and bears and
They're all there,
No, I know they are.
Yeah,
and apparently Bigfoot too.
and Bigfoot.
That's what they say. You never know. Which I've seen a couple videos lately that I don't know, man. I'll have to bring them up maybe next episode or something. But
Absolutely. Let's
yeah,
have a
there's some
Bigfoot
good
talk
stuff.
next time.
There's one where this thing is moving so damn fast. If it's a guy in a suit, the guy's quick. If it could be CGI, I don't know, but as far as I know, but it's on our friends from out in California's page, goddamn, I can't talk, Squatchable.com and Bigfoot and Evidence, which we need to get them back on the show soon too here.
Yeah.
Sean and Sherry. So we'll get them on here again and do some fun with them. They were a good time. Last time we talked to them, it's been a couple months ago already at this point, but they were a great guest. And we'll have more guests coming up. We still have Jeremy Jones coming on here, hopefully sometime soon. We use all his equipment in our investigations, and not all of them, but quite a bit.
He reached out to Roth,
Awesome.
saying that he's not forgot about us, and
Cool.
he just been extremely busy with all of his
Yeah.
different projects that he's doing.
Yeah.
He keeps creating new equipment all the time, and he's a lot of it's being used for different
TV shows, yeah. They showed a lot on the Tennessee Race Chasers. Haunted Towns, I think is what it's called now, and it used to be part of Ghost Asylum. Which, speaking of, they'll be here in Wichita. I can't remember the date on it, but they're going to do a live investigation out at the Cowtown. So then they'll be coming here, and you'll probably see. I know they'll use some of their equipment down there, which
Oh,
will be
yeah.
kind of cool, you know. And
I think it's like $100 a head if you want to go watch
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
So
That's cool though, yeah. But they'll be coming here to Wichita, and then also like I said, we use the equipment on our investigations. When we first started, we only had a couple things, but now we've grown quite a bit with some of his equipment, and yeah, we love the stuff he builds, and it's proven. I mean, some of the stuff that you see on TV we're using currently, like the Parabox, whatever it's called, not the Parabox, I can't think off the top what it's called off the top of my head.
the box that I had
The
last
music-
night. It
the
was
music-
awesome.
oh yeah,
The
yeah,
the Revip
yeah.
That was
works
actually
cool.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah, I've had to use that because you guys used it for the first time last night.
Yeah.
which-
Wireless DVR.
Yep. Yep. So that's good stuff, man. Yeah, we'll definitely have the maker on there. The thing I like about him is everything that they order, you order from his stuff that's custom made.
And he tests it out before
Yeah.
he ships it. So
Yep. So it's not just something you're not going to get a
yeah.
top of the line. I mean, not top of the line. You're not going to get a pre-manufactured kind of a thing. It's going to be specially made for you. So it takes
Right.
a little longer to get sometimes, but it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
So we use it all the time. It's proven good for us on many things so far. What?
Is it that time?
Not for me. I'm going all night, baby.
Let's do it.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna go home. And go
I was trying to stall for a little bit for JC if he wanted to call
Yeah.
in. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's getting close to that time, and I know some of us have other jobs we got to go to.
And we didn't even take a break tonight. So
Yeah, we went straight through. That's a lot of talking, and it was fun. I mean, thanks to the callers for calling in, Renee, and all the viewers tonight. Your questions were great. JC, call back next weekend if you would. Sorry we missed your call, and I apologize again. That's my fault. I was the man on the board tonight, and I missed your call. And we'll get you next time. I really want to hear what you have to say and whatnot. And I know some of our team has worked with you before. You know, Central Kansas Paranormal Society. I'm sorry. They worked on a couple of cases with you out in the past, and we'll definitely want to talk with you and see what you have to say. But we missed your call. I apologized. Let's see if anybody else. Okay. But no, thank you to all the viewers tonight. We appreciate you guys tuning in to our program. Once again, make sure you guys like, subscribe to this page, turn on notifications. That way you get notified when we go live. We'll definitely be doing some live events, live things, some experiments, whatever. We're going to be doing that pretty quick here. So.
Yep.
But appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week, same time, same friendly channel. If you ever want to hear anything, any questions, call in, email us, let us know. The email address is just crypticheartland I can't remember where it was at, which Jeremiah was there, but just email us. We also have our Facebook page, just let us know. So, but with that, we're going to say goodnight this evening, and we'll see you guys next week.
all right.
Sweet.
See
Thank
ya.
you guys.
Everybody.
Hold on, I got to find it.
Man.